evening, boys and girls of every age. Wouldn't you like to see something strange? Come with us and you will see this our town of the Intermission Podcast, episode 26, the show where two film students discuss classic, iconic, and obscure films from times gone by. We are your hosts for this fine Halloween special, Oscar W. Fitchett.
Robbie Tweedale.
Ooh. We, unlike the Blade Runner one, there is no whiskey, there is no alcohol for this episode. There is a water, there is a cup of tea, and there is sweeties.
We have sweets. I've made a mistake. I bought Haribo's, which are incredibly chewy and will be awful to listen to me eat.
I've got jelly beans, which are also not exactly the most. Yeah. So if we're like,
then I apologise.
Exactly. So
also, I'm ill. Just
you've got a little.
I've got a little cold.
The eye's clearing up.
The eye's gone.
Yeah, like the black eye.
I still got an eye. For any of just pure audio listeners, I still have an eye. But
like last week we went. Yeah, Robbie's got a black eye, and then like if they're only listening,
now it's gone.
I've not got an eye anymore.
The black eye is gone. I'm healed. I've got a scar.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Do you know how I got these scars?
You know how I got these scars? Just got punched in a club.
Yeah.
What more do you want?
Did you get the stitches out?
Yeah, I got the stitches out in my eyebrow. That's left a scar also.
Yeah, I would do.
Which is annoying. But the guy who did the stitches in the first place did them too tight.
Oh, really?
So they're meant to like go underneath and then just cut under the knot and just pull it out. But he'd done him too tight, so he couldn't get underneath. Plus, what was making it worse was that because I'd left it like a couple of days longer than I should have done, the scab had started to form over as well. So it was held down by a scab, whilst also being too tight in the first place. So it was a real ordeal to get him out. So good on you, the nurses that did do it, because they smashed it. Thank you. But
last week was our official season 3 finale.
Yeah, boy. So
it was just very convenient that the next week was the weekend of Halloween. So this is why we decided to come back for this one, for the last one in a little while. A month and a bit.
Yeah, probably until Christmas.
Yeah. There'll be more about that at the end of the episode of what we are going to be planning for that. Mm-hmm. But we're doing a bit of this. We're doing a little bit of Halloween special. Halloween is probably it's that and Christmas are my two favourite times of the year.
Okay.
Genuinely. Yeah. I'll do this now before we get into the film and even in the intermission, because we got. I think we're gonna have a bit of a lengthy intermission section.
Yeah.
Halloween. I'm a big fan of it. I was. You know how you always hear about like horror fans or like kids who love the Halloween season.
Yeah.
Like they were either like goth kids, or their parents raised them on horror. Type of thing. I was neither one of those things. I was neither a goth kid, nor was my mum showing me horror films. But I do remember liking watching children's TV and the Halloween specials that would come on around that time. I would also love watching Courage the Cowardly Dog, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. That was my jam.
Bangers.
But also when Disney Channel would show Halloween Town.
Oh, Halloween Town's good.
Like that.
I enjoyed Halloween Town.
There was the Halloween episodes of SpongeBob, which I liked. Wait, but who was flicking the light? Nosferatu.
Yeah, it's good. It's great stuff.
So I just
Treehouse of Horrors was one good one for me. Simpsons.
I never watched Simpsons younger. Yeah,
I love the Simpsons.
Yeah,
unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, but also I remember like I always romanticized the thought as a kid of trick or treating, because my mum never necessarily did it, because my mum always saw Halloween more as like more of an American celebrated thing. Yeah. So she was like, well, we never really did it, so I'm not really necessarily good at doing it. But again, me being a kid watching on telly, being like,
look how cool that is.
You get to walk around dressed up asking for sweets.
Yeah.
That's class.
That's perfect.
Yeah, and the little known fact about me, I'm a big fan of dressing up. I just look any excuse to like get on things, I will. Whether it be fancy dress or a nice suit. Yeah. Like I just love that.
Any excuse will jump on it.
Exactly. Yeah. So like, here's me seeing an outright holiday. Yeah. That's about dressing up. Well, fun. Yeah. I enjoy going to Halloween parties as a kid. Mm-hmm. The few that I did end up going to.
Yeah.
The last one as a child that I did, I dressed up as the Undertaker.
Excellent.
Yeah, that
fantastic.
That
was fun.
It's fine.
Big long trench coat.
Yeah, well, I used my mum's raincoat, so it was just a big black raincoat.
Fair enough.
And then I think I had a big hat.
Yeah.
That it was like my mum's sun hat, but it wasn't
Right.
black. It was like beige, but it was the only like big. So like, here's me wearing this big long black coat and like black shirt, black trousers. I don't even think I did my makeup. Like, I don't think I had face paint on me, so I didn't even have a fake beard. Or, like, I didn't have a wig. I just
So it looked like the Undertaker mixed with just like a lady from the 1920s.
Yeah. Not necessarily a sun hat like that. It was more of a sun hat that was like an Australian type of thing where it was like that type
had
of thing.
the corks coming down.
Not quite like that.
Jesus Christ.
But nothing after that. The next time I did anything for Halloween, because again, going to secondary school, there's not really
Everyone's so embarrassed about
Yeah.
everything.
Exactly. And
Get
any
over
parties that
yourselves.
were happening at that age, I wasn't going to them.
Yeah.
But I do remember going to when I did dancing, when I did Latin ballroom dancing, the dance school that I went to had like a Halloween party thing, and I dressed as a vampire. But like again, that's one of my favorite costumes to do as a vampire. One, the vampires are my favorite horror monsters. Generally, I'm a big vampire guy. You know, like if you're on about zombies or werewolves, I'm a big vampire guy.
Loves Twilight, this guy. He's been outed. It's happened finally.
It's actually not true. No, I have only seen New Moon
Oh really? Oh damn.
because my cousin forced me to, in the sense of I was like, I hate it.
Yeah.
She was like, have you watched it? I went, no, I don't want to. And she went, well, how can you know you hate it if you haven't watched it?
Christ.
But also keep in mind, when did it come out? 08 time?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I'm 13, 14. And as I've explained, I'm sure, in this podcast before,
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of Matt Smith
Yeah.
because I was like,
Everyone
fuck
loved
him.
Yeah.
Because all the girls I fancy in school fancy Matt Smith.
Yeah.
So I was like, but David Tennant was the best Doctor. And they were like, no, but Matt Smith. I'm like, you only like him because you fancy him. I never go on an argument like that, but that was my thought process.
I only liked him because I fancied him.
Fair.
But
Favorite
Doctor still to this day.
But a similar situation happened with Robert Pattinson in Twilight.
Yeah.
Like, fuck him. Oh, but he's so dreamy. Fuck off.
Robert Battenbat.
Yeah.
As he's known these days.
But now I'm a Robert Pattinson bitch boy, so that's switched entirely on me. I'm an absolute massive fan. But so then my cousin was like, "Well, just watch it then." So then I watched a copied DVD of New Moon.
Oh, brilliant.
And I hate it so much.
Yeah.
I was like, right, I've watched one. It sucks. It blows. Never doing that. So they all suck. But anyway, vampires. So then but it's easy for me to do because I just get dressed up. I think I wore like a red waistcoat, a long white collared shirt, a red dicky bow, and then like I had my hair sprayed to have it. It's when I had it's when I kind of was trying the emo cut.
Okay.
So then I kind of like, so this was what 2010. So it was prime emo cut time. So I just style my hair to like have it like.
Back.
Yeah, back. And then I white face paint with like a slight blood dripping down there. It was one of my favourite Halloween costumes.
Very good.
Do you have any fun Halloween costume memories or any trick or treat memories?
Every year from probably about 2012 when I first started high school to 2015 when 2017 when I left. Yeah. We did Halloween parties, and most every year I went in the same costume. I had a Spider-Man morph suit that I wore every year.
Of course.
Until eventually, I still own it, but I would never wear it again because you could just see my knob now. It's just like, it's just not fun. It's not a fun thing to wear. I feel like everyone's looking at it. It's weird. I don't like it. There was one year though where I was upset about it because a guy came up to me and was like, it was a Disney themed party, and I suddenly thought, perfect time in Disney to buy Marvel because now I can just go in my Spider-Man costume again, bang on, love it. And this kid came up to me at school that was like, Robbie, I really like that Spider-Man costume that you usually wear. Would I be able to borrow it to go Spider-Man? And me being the little bitch that I am, I was like, yeah, I guess. I had to go as the fucking monkey from Aladdin. I had to go as a Boo. It was shit. I was in my mum's just my mum's monkey onesie and a fucking little red waistcoat and a fez. It was shit.
Imagine you there just like...
Yeah, and then all night everyone was going up to this kid and go, wow, you look great. This costume's sick or whatever. And I was just sat there fucking sweating my head off in a fucking onesie all evening. Yeah, it was awful. Leo went as a one of the soldier toys from Toy Story.
So just a toy soldier.
Yeah, and he looked horrendous. It was like all of it was plasticky and weird, and he painted himself green. God, it was bad. But yeah, it just looked odd on my part because there's people who, two of my friends actually, Libby and Aiden, who are together now, weren't together back then, but they'd gone as Jasmine, and I'm pretty sure Aiden was Aladdin, and people knew there was a little bit between them or whatever, and then there's just me as the monkey being like, I didn't mean to be a third wheel, I apologise. I didn't do this on purpose. I wasn't even that good friends with Aiden at the time. So it's just like, it just looks really fucking...
At that point, you had to have someone may as well be in the magic carpet.
Yeah, I didn't plan it, but I just ended up being an accidental, like, weird third wheel, as if I was trying to worm my way into the middle of this relationship, and as like...
Yeah, you was like,
being like...
We all know Jasmine like Naboo better.
Yeah, and then like being like, oh, we're all friends here, aren't we? I'm really good friends with all of you guys. I wasn't, so it's not like, yeah, I don't know, it was weird. I didn't mean to do that, and it was all because I didn't get to wear my fucking Spider-Man costume, which was perfect because I like had the Andrew Garfield hair at the time, which I rocked for most of high school. By the way, rocked is a word, is a phrase for it.
Was that on purpose because of Andrew Garfield?
Fuck yeah!
Right, okay.
Are you joking me? When Amazing Spider-Man came out when I was 11, I thought like I was the coolest guy in the world.
I was gonna say, so then you're like, I want to look like him.
So I thought he had the coolest hair I've ever seen.
I mean, he is cool as fuck. You look at Andrew Garfield in those films, he's
look
like,
at him.
That's why he's not necessarily the best Peter Parker. But
yeah, because he's too cool to be Peter Parker. He's doing like fucking kickflips and shit. He's way too cool.
He's not even a geek in any sort of terms.
There's a bit at the beginning of the movie.
He may be a cool little outcast, but he's not like
he's not a geek.
He's Judd Nelson, not like Anthony Michael Hall at Breakfast Club.
And there's a bit in the beginning of that movie where there's a real nerdy kid getting held upside down and pushed into lunch by Flash Thompson, and Peter comes out and he's like, "Put him down, Flash," or whatever, and it's like,
should it be the other way around?
It should be you. You should be the one getting your fucking head pushed in this shit. Anyway, sorry. Thoughts on Amazing Spider-Man aside.
Some of the best, like, I don't think I've rarely had a Halloween costume that I've had to buy.
Yeah.
I've mainly had, or like, it's been a lot of mainly like, I always find them boring if I just go out and get a Halloween costume from like a shop or something. I'm like, I'll just be this year.
This is my issue with this year.
Right. Because because there's like, I think like again, I went out to buy stuff. Like one year I went as Darryl from Walking Dead because I was in that phase. Yeah. And I just got like a sleeveless, I got a button-up shirt and just cut the sleeves off it.
Oh, yeah.
But like that. And like one year I went as Donnie Darko, so I just got a skeleton costume and then a hoodie.
Yeah. Cool.
So
fair enough.
But like that's and like this time I'm going as Darby Allin, AEW wrestler. So I'm trying to find a blazer from a charity shop so I can paint some stuff on it.
Cool.
But yeah, what's your issue?
Well, I'm seeing my friends this weekend, which is always good. I love seeing my friends. I love my buddies. We're going to Liverpool, and we're all going as racing jockeys, right? Different coloured racing jockeys, which, by the way, isn't spooky. That's my first issue.
Always my thing with Halloween. I at least want to try get Halloween related stuff, like spooky. It's the whole point.
It's gotta be spooky.
It's the whole point. Even if you can't find a specific character, like even before I thought of Darby Allin, I thought like I might just go as a skeleton.
Yeah,
because like at least that's a bit like
oogie spooky. Yeah. Whereas racing jockeys, not particularly spooky.
I mean, unless if you're shit scared of horses.
Jesus! You know what a jockey means?
Or someone who had like a bad experience of betting at the horse race. So someone they see a horse drink, massive debt, I don't believe it.
Like, it's not spooky, and there's just gonna be a big gang of us all dressed as racing jockeys that are different colours.
It's a funny sight,
but it's a funny sight. But it's more of it's an Otley run. That's something you'd wear to do the Otley run in. It's not something that you'd wear to a fucking Halloween party. And I had to spend £17 I don't have. So it's like, what do you want from me? But yeah, that's happening. So that's exciting, I guess. I don't know. I'm excited to go to Liverpool.
The last few years, I don't think I've celebrated Halloween properly.
God. Jesus.
2018, I went to a Halloween party. I was happy with this costume. As I explained a few episodes ago when I did a Halloween special film, The Mystery Man, The Mask. I said that I went to a Halloween party after I edited and submitted it. I still wasn't sure what I was going to go as. This is when I had hair that was a bit shorter, longer on top type of thing. Short back and sides, longer on top. Yeah, yeah. So my generic response, I might just be David Lynch. Fuck it. Yeah. But then it's like, I didn't have any grey spray paints, and then it was like, I'm not even going to look like him.
No, you're not going to be white.
And my girlfriend at the time was like, she was just going to go as a witch.
Okay.
And then just right before we were going to get the taxi and head out, I was like, how about we just go as each other?
Excellent.
And then it was like, and she was like, yeah, actually, that wouldn't be bad, actually. So then we literally just switched clothes at the time, because she had shorter hair as well at the time.
Right, okay.
So we just switched clothes. She, like, did a made-up beard on her. She put some lipstick on me.
Excellent.
I walked around in heels.
Oh, my God.
Like, we went the full mile.
Good on you, mate.
I took them off when I got there, because I was like, God, this is knacking, which that was a fun time.
One of my favourites, which I've completely forgot about until just this moment, is film related. When I really cobbled together a costume. Do you remember this? It was in first year of uni. I didn't go out celebrating Halloween with uni. I haven't done. Yeah. I went out in a cow costume that I stole from friend of the show, Elise Thompson.
I did not know this.
Yeah, I put a cow costume on, which had like weird udders.
Whatever.
And then I put on some sandals, and I put a big dressing gown on over the top, and went as the Big Lebowski.
You told me about that. That's brilliant.
Which is fantastic. I was so proud of myself. I've literally never been more proud of anything that I've ever done. I had the sunglasses on and everything, and I was the Big Lebowski.
You've seen Lebowski, haven't you?
Yeah.
Linking it back to horror for a slightly thing as well. Yeah. Found out Robert Eggers, because I've been watching a load of Robert Eggers and Ari Aster interviews lately for research, and I'll just
and such.
Yeah, a lot of that. But also my next research piece that I'm going to be writing is about directing. So I'm looking at Robert Eggers and Ari Aster specifically. But one of Robert Eggers, he said that one of his films that have influenced him the most in terms of filmmaking. Obviously, he threw in Nosferatu as the main one. He said Ingmar Bergman, and he threw the Big Lebowski in there. And he went. I mean, if you watch anything that I do that has some humour in it, you'll see definite things in there. And at one point, I watched an interview before Lighthouse came out, and he went. And there's a moment in Lighthouse where, when you watch it, you go, "Oh yeah, that's definitely Lebowski."
What?
And I know what it is now. It's the fucking. You know the moment where John Goodman, spoilers for Big Lebowski, tosses out Donnie's ashes. And then it blows back in Lebowski's face. It's the moment where Pattinson's walking with the shit and goes, and it just blows back in.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Which, like...
I never even thought of that. You wouldn't have even thought of it, yeah.
I find them both really funny moments in those films. It's the moment in Lighthouse where he throws it, hits him, and then he just stands there for a bit and screams, ah! No, it genuinely
The Lighthouse is a funny movie.
I was talking about that with Angus and Connor. Because Angus watched it recently, and then we were just talking about it. I was like, and it's filthy, it's cold, it's just dreary, but it's so fucking funny. Right. It's the fucking it's the tirade rant that he just goes where it's like, I forgot. It's like you smell like old curdled foreskin. It's just
the lobster bit, obviously.
Obviously,
the lobster.
You're fond of me lobster, ain't you? Yeah. When he goes, stop being such an old bitch. Reese has got my copy of that. Give me a homework.
I think my copy of that is at home in full. I don't know why, but I'm pretty sure it is.
I didn't know you. Oh yeah, I think I saw it.
Yeah, me and Julia watched it because she saw it at the cinema.
I remember you telling me when we talked about it in our top 10.
Yeah, because her mate at uni, Ollie Bruce, good lad, what a legend. Was
he the Shrek?
He was Shrek at the family party. Yeah. He went to see it with Julia and the rest of their housemates or whatever, and the bit with the mermaid happened, and he literally just went, "Oh fuck!" like really loud in the cinema when it was like really quiet, and everyone was standing and looking at him like, "What the fuck?" And it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Again, I'm a bit biased at the minute because it is like I'm kind of basically modelling Love Bethany after that film, and I'm basically analysing the fuck out of it. The more time goes on, the more I'm loving that film. I loved it anyway, but that's
great.
It's influencing not only my filmmaking style, but it's also like I'm just like if you're quoting a film constantly, unintentionally as well.
Yeah. Then
you know
it's a banger.
Yeah. It's like when we did our top 10 video, I said I preferred I'm Thinking of Ending Things over Lighthouse. I think I would say the other way around now.
Right.
I'm Thinking of Ending Things is still great, but I mean, again, I'm not quoting that film.
Do you want to hear a crazy realization that I came to last night? This is completely off topic.
And then we can
and then we can go into the thing. I think that The Whale's End is my favourite of the Con Air trilogy. There, I said it.
It's mine.
There, I goddamn said it. I think it's the best one. I watched it last night. I got really excited and watched it.
It's funny.
It's so funny.
It's entertaining. And it's emotional. And none of the tones take away from any of them.
No, the script is the best script of the three.
Yeah.
Easily. Like, it's the best movie of the three. I
would agree, definitely.
I think I still prefer Hot Fuzz because it's
Hot Fuzz.
It's Hot Fuzz. And it's still probably my favourite comedy ever made. But... Yeah. I was just watching it last night and I was like, I think this is the best one, objectively, you know?
Yeah.
I think it just is the best one.
You're not going to find arguments from me.
No,
and with that, we'll all the Halloween talk, all the discussion. Let's remind ourselves we are here for the Halloween special of the Intermission podcast.
Buckle in, baby. It's time to talk about some movies. Is that the catchphrase that I did last week?
A few weeks ago.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
There you go.
I don't know if it's the same one.
The sentiment's there. And the film we are going to be talking about this week, Robbie, for the very first Intermission Halloween special, is the 1960 horror film Psycho. It's directed by Alfred Hitchcock, written by Joseph Stefano. It's based on the novel by Robert Bloch. The film stars Anthony Perkins, Vera Miles, John Gavin, Martin Balsam, John McIntyre, and Janet Leigh, the original Scream Queen. Right. The plot synopsis of the film, according to IMDb, is a Phoenix secretary embezzles $40,000 from her employer's client, goes on the run, and checks into a remote motel run by a young man under the domination of his mother. Accolades the film holds, it has a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes and an audience score of 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has an 8.5 out of 10 on IMDb, placing it at number 37 in their top 250 films of all time. And it holds a score 4.3 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd, placing it at number 64 in their top 250 films of all time. It was nominated for one Writers Guild of America Award for Best Written American Drama for Joseph Stefano. It was nominated for one Directors Guild of America Award for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Motion Pictures for Alfred Hitchcock. It was nominated for one Golden Globe, including for Best Supporting Actress for Janet Leigh. And it was nominated for 4 Academy Awards, including Best Black and White Art Direction, Best Black and White Cinematography for John L. Russell, Best Director for Alfred Hitchcock, and Best Supporting Actress for Janet Leigh. And before we continue going here, I just want to remind people that if you're new to this, we talk spoilers about this. So if you have not watched Psycho, or you don't care about spoilers, you can stick on if you don't care, but if you do care about spoilers and you haven't seen Psycho, get out, watch Psycho, come back. If you're a UK resident, it's on Now TV.
Yes.
Psycho. This was, I think, the first Alfred Hitchcock film that I was aware of, but it was not the first Alfred Hitchcock film that I saw.
No.
Me being again, this is a little hint, a little peek behind a little more Oscar to be featured history. I talked there. I always loved Halloween stuff. I loved the Halloween episodes. I watched Goosebumps as a kid, but I was shit scared of horror films. Like even the concept of I didn't watch any, but just the concept of them.
Yeah.
Up until I was like 16, genuinely, I just wasn't like, no, I don't want to fuck with that. Don't fuck with that.
I was exactly the same.
Yeah. So I'm watching. So I'm trying to get in the film, but I'm hearing about Alfred Hitchcock. So I'm watching Darling for Murder. I'm watching Rear Window. I'm watching Vertigo. Yeah. I'm avoiding Psycho and the Birds because I hear that Alfred Hitchcock horror films. So I'm like, not a horror film. A horror film. and then my very first horror film was The Blair Witch Project, which I think is a good shove.
Yeah.
Fucking get in there.
I think that was like Paranormal Activity 4 or something.
We both kind of 4.
It was the one where they leave the house at the end and the whole town is like.
Is it the one with the teenage girl as the main character?
Probably. I don't know.
That's 4. Yeah. Oh, that's not a good one. Yeah. I've only seen the first one, but I know of them all.
It was that and then Conjuring 2 probably.
Not the first one.
Nope. Saw the second. The second one was the first movie I saw in cinemas. Not first movie I saw in cinemas. The first horror film I saw in cinemas.
Right.
Unless It Chapter 1 came out before that. But I don't know if it did.
I don't think it did. I think
it's probably Conjuring 2.
But I eventually... So I was already Alfred Hitchcock fan before watching Psycho. And then it was the film Hitchcock that came with Anthony Hopkins that came out. And I thought, I hadn't seen Psycho. Let me watch Psycho before going to see a film that's basically about Hitchcock making Psycho.
Yeah.
Good film, actually. Not bad.
I haven't seen that.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not amazing,
but
it's a nice time. I like
cool.
it.
Yeah.
Hopkins is good as Hitchcock.
Yeah. He's good in most things.
In a lot of things.
Realistically.
Yeah. So I watched it there for the first time. Loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think about how many times I've actually seen Psycho. This isn't one that I've watched loads.
Yeah.
I want to say maybe this is only the third time I've watched it.
Yeah.
But I remember at the time, like when I first watched it, I thought myself that's my favorite horror film.
Right. Okay.
At the time, I watched more horror films and I repeatedly watched more horror films. So I think I grew more of an appreciation for other horror.
Yeah.
But I still say, even this is my third viewing now, I still love the film. I would say it's in my top 5 favorite horror films. It was within the top 5. If not the top 5, it's definitely in my top 10. And I would say it's within my top few Hitchcock as well.
Okay.
It might be my second favorite. I don't know. Below Rear Window.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It's somewhere in the top 3 or top 5 with Hitchcock. I do think this is like. Obviously, we talked Vertigo at the beginning of season 3.
We did indeed. Yeah.
I think Vertigo kind of falls a bit flat in the sense of its story, and in terms of like it tries a lot of things. Yeah. And if it hits, then I don't think it's a hit or miss situation. Yeah. It's like if it hits for you, then you're into it. If it doesn't quite hit for you, you're a bit like, okay.
If you think George is just a bad bloke by the end, which he is.
Yeah. But with Psycho, I don't think that it's quite a simplistic, pulpy story almost, to where it's like there's a few little plot elements which I will bring up in this that I'm a bit like, could done without that maybe, or like that could maybe be working on. But I think it's such like a stylized film, and it's 1960, but it feels such old Hollywood. Yeah. It's one of the last few old Hollywood films because it's 1960, and before that, we're almost at new Hollywood at that point. So this is almost like it's a good transition period because it still has the old school feel, I think, but it's also got quite a few violent moments in it to where old Hollywood's like, oh,
what are you doing?
Whoa,
that's a lady in her bra.
Apparently, they kicked off about Hitchcock showing a toilet.
They did, yeah.
That was the thing.
You're
gonna show a toilet?
It was also it's the first film to ever show a flushing toilet, isn't it? Yeah, that's a stat that this movie has for some reason. What's that
I think even Hitchcock was confused by it.
Like,
he was like,
what?
But I love Psycho. It's in my top 5 favorite horror films. I'll get more in detail about what I specifically love about it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's big fan of Psycho. Big fan of it.
Cool.
Haven't seen the sequels.
Ah, yeah. There's sequels to this.
They only got made after Hitchcock died.
Yeah.
Suspicious that,
it is a bit odd that.
I haven't seen them. I've heard some of them aren't terrible.
All right, okay.
But I've heard none of them live up to anything that this one does. No. But Robbie, your whole thing was Psycho.
Damn. Okay. I know. Again, like you, it was probably the first Hitchcock film I knew of existing.
We all know it's the shower scene.
Yeah, that's what you just know that. You just know the shower scene. It's the second Hitchcock film I've ever seen. First being Vertigo, which was the first episode of last season.
Yep.
And then this, I think I prefer this to Vertigo. But again, I have a few qualms. Do you know what? The one thing is that I wish I didn't know about this. I knew that Norman is.
Oh, I was going to say, I think people know the twist as well. I was going to say, did you?
I was going to say everyone knows the twist, so I like.
It's Norman.
Yeah, that it's Norman, and he is his mum, and his mum's dead or whatever.
You think it would have been better if you didn't know that?
Probably.
Interesting. I've got a little bit of a thing about that
because I feel like it would have been more, intrigue or whatever. Whereas the whole time it was just more of a. When you take that aspect away from it, you're instead just watching people trying to figure out something that you already know.
Yeah, I guess so.
Do you know what I mean? Like
the mystery's gone in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, well, the mystery is gone.
Because I didn't realize what this movie was. So when
really?
So when the shower scene happens, and I was like, oh, cool. It's this scene. This is near the end. And then I looked, and there was an hour left.
Yeah.
And I was like...
Yeah, we're only 40 minutes
yeah,
in.
I was like, what the fuck's the rest of this movie?
Oh, didn't... Oh, because
I had no idea.
Because that was one of the big things in the sense, like, people obviously thought, like... That was what one would be like, holy shit. And it's like... People refer it like as a psycho moment if you build a main character and then you kill them off halfway through. Yeah. And it's like, what the fuck's this going to be now? And I think I mean, we can go into that in terms of knowing the twist and all that. Because part of me was a little bit disappointed that I just knew that anyway.
Yeah.
I knew Norman Bates was the killer.
Yeah.
It's just, again, it's one of these things where I just knew that. It's like the same thing with there's a lot like Luke, I'm your father. No, I'm your father. It was that equivalent to me where I just knew Norman Bates was the killer. Yeah. And it's interesting because obviously the film builds on you not knowing it because Hitchcock obviously didn't. He didn't go to people and go by the way, Norman's the killer. Now come in.
Yeah, exactly.
The film's made for you to be
ooh,
this crazy mother.
Yeah.
Wait, the mother's dead. What? It was Norman.
Yeah.
But I think it's one of these films where you can tell. Even by the way the film's being made, how things are shot. I think again, I'm watching today as well. Watching it, I'm watching knowing Norman's a killer, and I'm watching scenes where in my head I'm thinking to myself, if I didn't know he was the killer, I'm not sure if I'd find this interesting. I'm just seeing the mother's son pack away the car and clean the thing. Yeah. It would seem very arbitrary. Whereas me knowing this, I'm like, fuck, I'm watching some sort of a twisted a very mentally troubled person go through it. And it adds a little bit more suspense to it in a sense, I think.
Okay.
It's a similar thing where it's I knew the twist of Fight Club going in a Fight Club.
Right.
So I found it interesting looking at watching it. That sense.
In terms of that, yeah.
And same thing with it. I knew the twist of the Sixth Sense going in the Sixth Sense. So I'm watching the Sixth Sense being oh, that's interesting. And I think Psycho falls into that where, unlike Usual Suspects, where it's if you know the twist, you don't need to watch the film. The whole point of Usual Suspects is you don't know it.
Yeah.
So once you know the twist, it's oh, so there's nothing then.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But I think with this, and again, the two other films I mentioned, I think there's still something left in it where, again, especially there's danger in the film no matter what.
Yeah.
So when Martin Balsam, I forgot the character's name, the private investigator.
Albatross?
It's something like that,
It's close to that. It's close to Albatross.
And when he's walking into the house, I'm like, shit. Because I know there's still danger there.
Yeah.
And it adds a little bit more, for me, especially as a horror film, it adds a little bit more fear overall. Because when people are fucking with Norman, in my head, I'm like, they're fucking with the killer right now. They're fucking with the killer. Whereas if you didn't know, it's more so, they're just berating this little bitch.
Yeah.
So,
well, no, I don't think of it that way because, to me, I made a note of this. It's one of the very few notes that I made.
Yeah, I've got a few notes.
But just being Norman is so obviously mental.
Yeah, definitely.
From the off. So I think even if I didn't know the twist, I would...
There's suspicious things.
I would from the beginning have been it's him, right? Because he's fucking clearly mental.
That's what it's
he's
I want to discuss the scene anyway that he has with Marion in the office because I think. But even the thing where he looks through the people, there's not. He's not a calm person.
No,
the moment we get introduced to him, again, Hitchcock's not thick. He knows what he's doing. Especially by this point, 1960, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He's not a rookie. He's making this film, and he's very well aware of how he's shooting and portraying Norman.
That shot looking through the people is so fucking good. The extreme close-up on Norman's side of his head or whatever.
It's this bit's out. It's this bit's out of focus, but his eye is crisp and focus. It's such a good...
It's nice. It's a nice looking shot.
There's some nice shots in
this. There really is.
Which I kind of want to discuss we'll discuss the technical aspects of it, and then we go back into... Because obviously this film was in black and white. This wasn't... Hitchcock has made colour films before then. We talked about Vertigo, which is a very colourful film.
Yeah.
The reason why this had to be in black and white was not a stylistic choice from Hitchcock.
All right.
The studios were like, what the fuck are you doing, Hitch?
Right.
Come on. So then he was like, fine, I'll take a pay cut, and I'll just shoot it in black and white because it'll be cheaper than colour.
Oh,
So.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. So.
But why were people so? What are you doing about this?
Because of the film. Because they didn't think. Because horror wasn't.
Right. Okay.
By that point, 50s, if you think, they were like B movies at that point.
Yeah, like Universal.
Or old, like it's like naff stuff.
Yeah.
And they just thought like, well, no one's gonna fucking see this.
Yeah, true. Okay.
So it's like, all right, I'll just
do it myself.
Yeah, I'll let's just shoot black and white, be cheaper then.
Yeah.
But I think the black and white adds to it.
Yeah, I think
especially
so.
since it is in the horror genre. I know, and again, I'm very topical about this at the minute because my final major project is going to be shot in. Well, it's not shot in, but it's going to be in black and white. It's a horror film that's in black and white. And the one thing I noted where it's like, obviously, this is contemporary for its time.
Yeah.
But the whole film kind of has a certain style where it balances between like contemporary stuff like that, like feeling like a contemporary 60s film.
Yeah.
And like a period gothic tale.
Yeah.
Because again, not only because of the black and white, but also like the shots of the Bates house, where it almost looks like this big like Transylvanian gothic on a mountain almost, where it just feels very like, ooh, spooky. And when he pushes the car into like a big, just like a mud lake, it looks like a big black lagoon type of thing.
I have a comment about that scene.
When he first does it.
I had a note about that. 1 second.
I love that moment. I want to say that because again, Hitchcock known as the master of suspense. With Vertigo, I didn't feel much suspense in Vertigo.
Yeah.
This, you do feel his suspense, I think. Again, it's the moments where, again, little brief moments of where he's packing up. He's about like shut the boot, or like he's just come out with the mop, and then a car light passes by, and he's like, even those little moments to us was like, oh shit, he's out in the open right now.
Yeah.
And then when he pushes the car and it goes, stops. And the odd cut, because one of my notes is the editing is fucking brilliant.
Right,
I love the editing in this film so much.
Yeah.
Where because it cuts back the car, then cuts back to him looking, then cuts back to the car, then cuts back to him, then back to the car, then we see it stop, then back to him, and he's like, and then he's looking around, almost see like, one, is anyone looking? Two, is there anything he can use to push it down? And before he gets a chance, then the car keeps going. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, my note was it just says the sinking goes on for so fucking long. It goes for so long. It got to, but like it went for so long, and I know that it's the master of suspense, but also just come on, get on with it, because it
one thing I'm learning,
Go
patience, Robbie. Patience.
Well, no, because it got comical. It got to a point where it got comical to the point where we kept cutting to this car going slowly, and then back to Norman just standing blankly, and then back to the car again going slowly down. And it did like 6 times before it stopped, and it was like, what is this? It's like that joke that fucking Family Guy did about the bit in Return of the Jedi where they're all nodding to each other before Luke is gonna go, and it just keeps going on for like 5 minutes. Like it just keeps going.
I guess it didn't take it out for me, but okay, no fair.
Yeah.
But also, like, if we're talking about editing examples, actually, no, we'll come back to that because I was still I will go because the other points I was going to make about framing and visuals were going to be involved in specific scenes. So, but it's another example of the editing because again, this film is a bit of a mystery, isn't it? It's a mystery film at the same time, and there's a lot of like, again, you can look at this. This is the same thing with most horror. Horror stories anyway. Not even just cinema, just horror as a genre. There's a lot of this of just the character of a character walking and looking. Yeah. Because the whole point is we're meant to be almost like, what's going to happen? What's around the corner? Yeah. As much some films do it shit.
Yes. 100%.
But I think there's a way to do it really well, and I think Psycho doesn't do it in a properly traditional way where it's like, let me walk down the long hall. There's like moments of like, again, where Vera Miles, who plays Marion's sister, I forgot her name, the character's name,
Ariane.
I want to say that, but her either way. Where she's in. First of all, she's in room 1. Which at that point, it's like, again, I love it when you get in a thriller or horror where like a character is in a room where it's like, you shouldn't be in there. Shit.
What are you doing?
Shit. And it's like, again, she's looking, and they do, and there's like insert shots, which I think some filmmakers, especially student filmmakers, don't understand that you need.
Yes.
We're all obsessed, because I fall victim to this.
Yeah.
We're all obsessed with that. We need to get the actors.
Yeah.
We need to just film the actors.
You don't.
But also sometimes maybe just show what they look at.
Yeah.
Or like even like a simple thing of like if they've got like a glass and they put a glass down, get a close up of the glass getting put down or so.
It's just anything. That
Just
can,
to give a bit of, because we don't realize it when we're watching something. It's only when we're breaking it down and go, okay, we cut there, we cut there, we cut there, cut that bit, that bit, that bit. Even like the bits of like where Marion's driving the car and it's like we just hear what she thinks are being said.
Yeah.
We're in our minds, we're seeing a whole scene play out, but we're not. We're just seeing Janet Leigh's face
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But like they're playing with like, so it's a similar thing with like when like Lillian,
there you go.
where she is in again room 1,
Yeah.
looking around, looks at the safe, looking.
Yeah.
It's just again little things like that where it's like I'm a sucker for like again it's good suspense building, I think, in the sense of like we know the significance of this room, this is where Marion died.
Yes.
Which I think that's what adds to the suspense and makes it a horror film.
Yeah,
'Cause,
yeah,
like,
I think so.
Some people might look at Psycho and go like, it's not really a horror film. I disagree, because a mystery film, a mystery thriller, would make us not even see Marion's death.
Yeah, true.
We wouldn't even see the death.
Yeah.
We would see Marion go to the motel, and then we would just be with Lillian.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the film would be with her. And then it would be the suspense of like, but like we've seen the murder, we've seen the horror. So we're not scared in the sense like, what are we going to see?
Yeah,
we
you're
are scared in the
being
sense of like, shit, I know what's going to happen here.
You're
I
going
know
to get stabbed.
Yeah, that's and that's where the horror element
Yeah.
is with this film. We
Yeah,
know the danger.
Mm.
Horror
true.
isn't trying to make us think, what is the danger? We are meant to know the danger, and we're meant to see characters who don't know that danger.
Yeah. I think I preferred the second hour of this movie massively to the first.
The first hour is Marion's story,
Yeah.
which again is the not horror bits.
Yeah,
it's the
I
setup.
much preferred the Lillian and is it Steve?
Samuel Loomis.
Yeah,
which I'm not sure if Halloween make that a reference, because he's Dr. Loomis.
Yeah.
It's a big coinky dink, and obviously Janet Leigh is the mother of Jamie Lee Curtis. So
maybe that makes sense.
It's a very big. There's a lot of parallels between Halloween and Psycho, I think.
Yeah, I much preferred their story than Marianne's, because it's like, I don't know, it was a lot of meandering and
With Marion,
and I know that it's like, and I know that it's like, what am I saying? It's set up for later on, because everything that you've like, it gives the private investigator guy clues to follow when he goes, which I appreciated him as a character. I liked him a lot. My favourite character,
Arbogast.
Yes, Arbogast.
Yeah.
My Arbogast. as the guy on the phone says, for some reason, because he's like, what's the name? Arbogast. Arbogast. It's like, what? There was a lot of things that I wrote down like that. One of my favourite ones, was
I think there's moments like that was where I enjoy going back. Again, I've explained it like when we talk about 12 Angry Men. I love watching older films because you get little like nice little quirky moments like that where you're like.
There was the guy that comes in and just blatantly doesn't pay his taxes.
With the cowboy hat.
Yeah, that guy that comes in, she's like, I do declare, and he's like, I don't, and that's how I get away with it. And it's like, oh, so you just don't pay your taxes, I guess. Okay. But he comes in and says, can I have a glass of water? I'm dying of thirsteroni, is what he says. So I'm going to start saying that now.
I'm dying of thirsteroni.
Dying of thirsteroni is something that I'm going to start using.
Brilliant.
What was I saying? Yeah, I liked the PI character.
Martin Balsam.
Whatever we said.
Arbogast.
I liked him. I liked
who we know as juror number 1.
Holy shit! Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Don't even clock that.
Yeah.
He dies, doesn't he?
That's one of my favourite.
That's
kills.
one of the best shots.
It's
so good, right? It's just following him down. But it raised questions, but I liked it.
Yeah.
My questions being, how is he falling? Because there's no like, as if he's stumbling down the stairs. It's just like.
Well, because it was shot in a projector.
Was it rear projected?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because it's like.
He's meant to be like stumbling down the stairs with it. He's not meant to just go, I'm falling.
But it's as if he's like, It's as if the stairs have turned into a flat slope.
Yeah, it is,
and
isn't
he's
it?
just sliding down it like it's ice.
Like, whoa!
It's so funny to
No,
watch.
but that's like-
I love that shot. That's great.
We'll save the horror specific talks, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that shot. But my favourite character is the guy who had one scene, and it's the psychiatrist that explains everything at the end.
He's your favourite.
I loved him. He's fucking great.
You can cut that bit out of the entire film. And
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I loved him.
He explains everything we already know.
Oh yeah, he just shows up and then just goes.
This is the plot, in case
Yeah,
you didn't realise.
It's like, do you know what he reminded me of? It's like at the end of a Twilight Zone episode where Rod Stone would show up and then just explain the moral of the story for like 5 minutes. It's just that guy. He comes in.
Because then
I fucking loved it.
it's like, because it's even to the point where like Sam's going like, so why was he dressed like that? And then one guy, he was a transvestite. Not exactly.
Not exactly. Not exactly. He just comes in like he's. Oh, I loved him. He was like. The performance reminded me of.
It wasn't Norman.
Fucking-
It was his mother.
It was his mother. Yeah, but he's not explaining it. He's explaining
He's
it in
being
such
really Riddly,
he's
isn't he?
Really Riddly. It's like, I didn't get a confession out of Norman, but I got one out of the mother. But the mother's dead. No, but that's the thing. She's not really, because she lives inside. It's like, shut up. What are you doing?
I think if this came off 50 years later, and we would be like, what the fuck? But
Yes.
it almost has a bit of a charm. It was like 1960 black and white hit horror film, and it's like
He talks like Darkwing Duck. I fucking loved it. It was fantastic. That's a reference I didn't expect to be pulling out today.
throwing
Fucking
Darkwing
Darkwing Duck out there. But I think that if I'm gonna have an issue with the film, which I don't really have any.
There's
issues
not
with
many, I don't
No.
think, with this.
My main thing would just be that I love the vibe and the feeling that Hitchcock creates with every film. Yeah. They all fit. I now, after seeing 2 of them, I now
You know what I mean
you
in the sense of
understand what a Hitchcockian thing is.
yeah, when people go, oh,
Yeah.
it's very Hitchcockian.
Yeah, I
You
know.
know
I
what-
know
yeah.
what that means
It's
now.
like because I think I said it before. I was like, "Oh, Gone Girl's such a Hitchcockian film."
Yeah.
and I've had people who've never seen a Hitchcock film go, "What the fuck are you on
yeah,
about?"
but I
Isn't
get,
that just
I
the dude
get
that
what you
directed?
mean.
It's like there's
But-
something.
My only issue with this film, I think, would be that it is entirely, and you might disagree with me here actually, but it's entirely plot driven.
No,
The entire
yeah,
basis
yeah.
of the film is the plot. You don't get to know any of the characters very much.
Okay, I can understand what you
It's
mean.
it's more the intrigue of the story and what the reveal of what's going on in the story is going to be.
I think it helps though that all the actors at least bring a definite performance to each of the like again. I
Yeah.
understand because what do we don't. The most we know is of Marion.
Yeah.
But what do we know
Well,
of
we don't
Marion?
really know anything about her.
Like, yeah. I mean, technically
that's-
we know a lot about Norman, but I think I just know Norman because more things have been made of him.
Yeah,
so I think I
exactly.
just know anyway.
Yeah.
But
I was made to watch that shitty fucking Bates Motel show.
I refused to watch it.
So-
As soon as I saw Norman Bates with a girl with an iPod, I'm like,
No. Get out of here. What's the
the
point?
fuck is this?
Yeah.
What are you doing? So, but
I hadn't even seen Psycho at that point, and I was
Yeah.
like, this show sucks.
bullshit. But so, although Vera Farmiga and Freddie Highmore are too good cast for Norma and Norman,
Yeah.
would have liked to have seen it. Why didn't they just?
Why don't they just do a remake?
James Wan would actually be a solid fucking like if they just decide to do a Psycho prequel.
Yeah.
James Wan would be a. He works with Vera. I mean, it's done. They can't
Have you-
do that now
Have
because
you
it's.
seen the Psycho remake, the Vince Vaughn one?
I refuse to watch that. as
I've never
well.
seen it.
Do you know about it?
Yeah, I know of it. It's just a shot by shot.
For sure. They make little changes. For example, when Norman's looking through the peephole,
Yeah.
he's wanking as he's doing it
Oh, Vince.
because that's look, we know Norman was like, oh.
But that happens
But
so
like-
early on in the film. We know that he's weird, but you don't have to be like.
That's what I mean. But it's like him just looking through. It's like
It's creepy enough.
you can have many interpretations of that. Even it's like with a bit of like maybe it could be like, oh, is he like is he just curious? Is he like
Yeah.
There's until like it comes to a point where again, Mr. Psychiatrist is like he was aroused by your sister, but then the mother side took over, and
the
then
other side was taken over, and he's never fully Norman ever again.
yes,
He's his mother and he's Norman at the same time, and until he's just the mother, but he's never Norman. It's like, what,
what are you saying?
what
to
are
me?
you even talking about?
So, but like, yeah. So I just don't. I might watch this remake of Psycho out of pure curiosity.
Yeah, that'd be a good.
Was it
commentary.
Naomi Watts? Was that? Yeah, that actually wouldn't be a terrible
that'd
commentary.
Be a good commentary. I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, Naomi Watts.
I feel like she was Marion, but I don't know. Yeah, that would generally be a good commentary. But yeah, like there's no like. I think again, all the actors are good in. Again,
Yeah, everyone's very good in
Arbogast isn't.
this.
What do we know of him? But there's still
Nothing. He just shows up like halfway through, and he's like,
that's a cool show. He's like through the window, then
Yeah.
it just goes to a mega close up.
"I'm investigating your sister. What do you want? What more do you want?"
That's the thing as well. I love how the film just goes.
Yeah.
There's no
He
like
just comes in. He's like, "I'm the main character now, man. What do you want, man?"
the film never stalls.
No,
like
it
the
doesn't,
film is
no.
like, right, here's Marion, here's Sam. She's off to work. There's the money. She's gone.
She's gone. She's off. She's gone.
And she's off.
Except the bit with the fucking car.
I was just that's suspense, but I don't think it's necessary.
But because right, I would understand if the PI then found like records that she'd bought this car from this place, so you could like track where she'd been. It never comes up,
No.
and the
I understand the
police
po-
guy being after her never comes up.
I understand the point of like almost to get her like play on her paranoia,
Yeah,
but then it gets a bit obvious in the sense like, but why is the police? Like,
Yeah.
even if you're a little bit suspicious, they don't fucking.
they don't follow you.
They
to
don't
the whole,
trail you.
No, he's not gonna follow her to the next fucking town.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, come on.
It's logically,
Yeah.
I'm a bit, but I think cinematically, it's fucking cool.
Yeah. Oh no.
Like it's
cool.
again, it's really well done in the sense like we know we see the police officer like close up, so we know what he looks like. We hear his voice plenty
Yeah,
enough,
yeah.
and to the point where and then we see the police car divert, and like,
Yeah.
oh okay, and then she goes to switch her car, and then we see the police guy again. It's cool suspense, and he's just stood there, and it's a wide across the road, putting us again. Hitchcock's great at perspective.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
it's putting us in the shoes of whatever situation it may be. He did really well with Virgo in the sense of like we.
Yeah.
It wasn't George; it was Scotty. George is his name in
Oh,
It's
is that
Wonderful
It's
Life.
Wonderful Life?
I just remembered. Yes,
George isn't a bad person. He's
No,
great.
Scotty,
shit bloke.
yeah. But so like, there's good moments like this within this film that are like that. Again, logically, doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, I think that's the only part of this movie that I would probably get rid of.
That one, just have a drive to the motel.
Have a drive out of the town, and she can maybe be looking in her. You can maybe do a driving sequence where she's looking in her wind mirror all the time, and she keeps seeing this police car behind her, and she's getting a bit paranoid. A bit like the Goodfellas thing with the helicopter or something. Do something like that. But then the police car goes off, and then she goes to the motel.
Yeah.
Just cut out that. Then you've got rid of like 20 minutes that you just don't need.
Again, it's not even like I was saying, but is that in there with the illusion of if we're watching it for the first time, in the sense like our thought is, are we watching Marion?
Yeah, if you did,
story.
If
That's
you
what I
didn't- If you
mean.
didn't know what it was about, I guess if you think that this film is just going to be about this woman who stole some money and she's on the run now,
Because it would
It
feel
adds suspense to that,
it
I
would feel
guess.
quite flat if we think that's the story,
yeah,
and
true.
then she is just driving. She just drives right to the motel.
yeah,
It's a bit so.
So I suppose for a first-time viewer in 1960,
For our knowledge, which is what it was
Yeah.
made for,
Yeah,
it was
true, yeah.
from our knowledge being 60 so years
Yeah.
later now,
where
knowing the plot
and people know what it's about,
and knowing it's basically a slasher film.
yeah,
It's a bit. I know.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I didn't
Um,
think of that.
I also love that. Again, that's another cool fucking shot. Again, which Tarantino did a pastiche to, where she's stopped.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
her boss walks by,
Yeah.
and then it's cool.
it's very cool.
Again, no words. Hitchcock's good at that shit because his dialogue can be. He doesn't write his films, but they all have the same feel. Like
yeah, but
but-
then like that.
the dialogue in Hitchcock films aren't masterfully great.
Yeah,
They move the plot.
Yeah.
And they're fine, I think.
Mm.
Like they're not like
but like the dialogue isn't what I'm there for.
exactly.
I like the story and I like the feeling of it.
I don't think. Exactly. If I'm watching a Hitchcock film, any of the films in this set, I'm not
Yes.
going like, oh, let me watch extraordinary. Like I'm not there for Aaron Sorkin fucking dialogue.
Yeah.
I'm there for like probably cool cinematography because Hitchcock did some.
Is some cool shit in there.
Yeah. Probably good at just. I'm there for again the story
Yeah.
and maybe to the extent the acting.
Yeah.
You're watching a Hitchcock film because you're watching a Hitchcock film.
Yes.
He's
Yeah.
almost like one of the early examples of an auteur.
He's an auteur director.
in the sense of like you go there for Hitchcock.
Yeah. You
It's
can
Jim-
feel when it's a You can feel a Hitchcock film in the same way that you can feel a Spielberg film or an Edgar Wright film.
I do think I think it's interesting because again we talk about older films and some of them do have a dated element to them. Citizen Kane, I think,
is incredibly dated.
Can be an example of it, even though that is quite a dynamic film for the 40s.
Yeah.
But I think the thing with Hitchcock is like I think this is what makes him such almost an exceptional director. Is like he clearly has a style, but you watch any other random film. I don't mean just another great director in this time period. We watch a film from the 50s, 40s, 60s of just a director.
Yeah.
There's no style and blur.
No.
Like there's a lot of people call those films old films because they all just feel the same.
Yeah.
Like people look at West Side Story and go an old musical. There's style to it, but it's an old musical. Yeah. It doesn't do anything different to other old musicals. I don't think you could watch like a Hitchcock thriller and then think it does the exact same thing as another mystery thriller from that time period. Yeah. I think there's some about Psycho where people still go back to it.
Yeah, constantly.
And people still, new fans are found of it. I don't think I think it's a film where, as I said, it is quite simplistic.
Yes.
But it's amazing in how simplistic it is.
I think that's that's probably what I mean deep down, is probably what I'm trying to say by saying that it's just a plot-driven film. Yeah. So, it's sometimes it's to its detriment, but mostly it's to its success, really. Yeah. Because it's like, it's so simplistic, you've just got to focus on what is the story of this. The story goes to here, to here, to here. Oh, he's the killer.
We need the characters. Here's the type of characters that we need.
Yeah.
He doesn't go for these in-depth characters, as we've talked about. Hitchcock's not someone who's like, no, your character would be... He's like, I need you to do that.
Just do this.
And then they do it.
Look up and to the right or whatever that story is.
Yeah, well, yeah. So it's like, that's what I mean. So it's like, again, these characters... Vera Miles and Janet Leigh, they knew what film they were getting involved in. Again, a Hitchcock film.
Yeah.
They just go in and do
what you need to do, get out of there.
But if we're on about performances, Anthony Perkins is one of my favourite performances in a film.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, as Norman?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm a big fan. Again,
fair enough.
I think it's like, I thought this even the very first time I watched it.
Yeah.
This was around the time period when I was watching films and my favourite performances were was Malcolm McDowell in Clockwork Orange and Christian Bale in American Psycho.
Yeah,
so I was into like those characters and those types of performances where it's a bit there's layers and there's a bit of a flawed nature to them.
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm just quite attracted to those types of stories anyway.
Yeah.
And Norman Bates, it's like I just think that like again, Anthony Perkins, he has such like a boyish, innocent face. He's got youthfulness about him, so he's perfect for that sense. But he's so good as well in terms of like, even like the simple like slight mannerisms in the sense of like he can then go from being, and I want to talk the ending at the end, but like so he can get again innocence, but again he's one of these actors again. He's in the Murder on the Orient Express, the 1974 version. Yeah. He has like this presence to where he could be an actor in any time period. He's almost, but he just happened to be born in this time, and he was in the 50s, 60s. Because I think like he has such like. There's even again when he's like the second time where he's like stood on like by the lake. Yeah. And he's almost got like a bit of a black sweater on, and he's got like a slender figure. It's like, he almost looks like the poster for Cabin of Dr. Caligari.
Yeah.
He looks like he would fit very well in a silent film.
Yeah.
It's like that type of thing. He fits very well in these type of films. He's not like a big heroic.
He's not a big
leader man.
Yeah.
But he's good at like that time period. I think if he was round this time, he would be the Paul Dano or the Joseph Gordon-Levitt or like some Jake Gyllenhaal, like young, you know what I mean? He's an actor that so. Just even in this film, you can see he's a diverse performer because again, as I said, he can either be just very innocent because that's another thing with horror films where they get the killer, they always look like the killer.
Yeah.
Or if they don't look like the killer and it's revealed I'm the killer, it goes, you?
Yeah, really?
Like they take the mask off. I'm like,
that guy?
Really?
Okay.
The Saw films kind of have that syndrome where it's like, wait, you're Jigsaw?
Yeah.
Or like,
Kylo Ren had that for me in episode 7.
Oh, really?
At first, yeah.
Or like, or example in some other Jigsaw films where it's like, yeah, I knew you. Of course you're the
Yeah,
killer.
yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
He has the moment there where if you're watching it in 1960, you can look at him and go like, no, he's harmless. And then in that one scene where he's talking with Marion, there's a slight hint of like, oh, there's a bit of layer, but he seems fine still. He's looking through the peephole. It's like, oh,
yeah, no,
okay.
He is a weak
And then
boy.
as it keeps going and going again until the final, not the final frame because the final frame's a fucking car getting taken out. Yeah, but like the final frame before the end.
Yeah,
he's terrifying.
Yeah,
he's a terror. And again, I think like we may as well talk that scene with him and Marion.
Yes,
because we moved on.
Yeah,
I think it's beautifully like shot. I think that's a shot I think any Hitchcock film is almost a must to study if you want to be a director.
Yes, definitely.
For blocking, especially, and camera placement, because this scene's a good example of it.
Yeah.
Where we start with mediums on Marion and Norman. Yes. The camera doesn't move either, but maybe a little bit just to like when Norman leans forward in the close up.
Yeah.
We start with medium. That's kind of just similar type of shots. And then when Norman starts talking about his mother, we then frame a shot where he's in the bottom corner and there's like a taxidermy owl like that because he's talking basically about how she has how she has her claws synced into him basically, and she's a bit controlling. It's just again, it's simple, but it's a cool visual of like
it's a very cool visual
of like that, and then when we get further, the intensity starts getting a little bit more like, oh shit, the tension's getting a little bit rising. Yeah, because this scene doesn't go 0 to 100.
No, it progressively gets a bit more.
But it doesn't even go to 100. It goes like 0 to 50.
Yeah.
But it slowly gets to 50 as well.
It goes to 0 to enough for you to go.
Because it's like the moment where Marion goes like, oh, well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Like,
yeah.
Because when she goes, have you thought about putting her? He goes, what, away?
Yeah.
Away. And it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
But he's not kicking off. He's not slamming. No. It's clearly a subject that he's irate with.
Yeah.
And he's like, again, in that point, we're a close-up on him. And we get the little few lines where, again, I love this piece of dialogue. It's perfect. Like, it's tell, but it's natural tell in the sense like it's two strangers having a conversation. Yeah. And even like Sam says it as well, where he goes like, "Oh, you would have thought if someone's alone all the time, they would talk their head off." And he does in this thing where he sees a pretty girl, and he's trying to not be, he's trying to be gentlemanly, but then he wants to like say stuff, and he's saying like, "Oh yeah, well, I don't do." He talks about the taxidermy. He's like, "Oh yeah." He goes, "Oh, interesting hobby." He goes, "Oh well, the hobby's there to pass the time, not to fill it." And it's like, "Oh, do you really have that little time?" Then he explains he does all this, blah blah blah. Do you go out with your friends? He goes, "Well, the boy's best friend is his mother." Yeah, it's like, that's a classic line. Ooh. That's a classic line. Yeah. That's the first. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. And again, then he tries defending his mother in a sense like, she goes a little mad sometimes. We all go a little mad sometimes. Yeah. We get two like classic psycho lines in this one scene, and we get the Bernard Herrmann score, which
the score's good. Ooh. The score's very good in this movie.
We get the slight bill as like as he's like talking about it might be my favorite scene from the film. Yeah, and I mean scene. Because there's loads of moments that I like.
Yeah, but I think
the shower scene, which is basically a shower moment, is iconic classic. We talked about Martin Balsam, Arbogast, with his kill. That's a great scene. Yeah. The ending's fucking cool. Great, yeah. But if we want about like an actual scene, that might be my favorite because we get. It's the best Marion has been in that point as well.
I think it's probably my favourite as well if it wasn't for the psychiatrist man at the end being my favourite thing in this movie. But
that's the thing I would cut.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's so stupid, but I love it. But like, that scene is everyone's very good. But this is the thing with me for this though is that he didn't blow me away.
No,
specifically because I just like as soon as he showed up, there was never like a. Oh, he's obviously like a nice, innocent guy or whatever and whatever. It always felt always felt like a facade to me. Yeah. It always felt like he was a weird, crazy guy anyway, like the whole time.
But I also think as well, don't you? Because obviously we see things these days where there's the psychotic character. Yeah. And you could look at Jared Leto. I don't like bagging on Jared Leto, but
I do.
He's an example of this. Yeah. I love him as a musician.
Yeah.
His acting's questionable, I'll say that.
Yeah.
But like him and then other people's psycho like performances, they're all very like, I'm a
honker.
Yeah, it's like, but like I think like everyone wants to be Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah.
I think people should start looking, but Heath Ledger wasn't trying to be, but Heath Ledger, he was trying to be more Alex Delage in Clockwork Orange.
Right, yeah.
Which again, that's a very late performance.
Yeah.
But I think Norman Bates in this film is such a good psychotic performance because it's like there's something there, but he's so subtle about it as well.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Like he's not like there's never. It's only at the very end where he's a bit. But even then, it's not like he's like.
He's not doing like cat pairing noises or whatever. Like Jared Leto's
it's
doing.
not like he like came out of the thing with his mother's dress and locked the door and then he went in the slide.
It's like dancing his way up or whatever. It's like he's not doing anything.
It's like he sees it and he just goes for it, which is even more terrifying. Where just someone just bursts from around the corner, like what the fuck, and then just
he just runs in with a knife.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not again. Pennywise gets away with it because he's a fucking demon
clown. He's a clown, yeah.
When he's walking out the fridge going, and he's doing
like,
the dance. It's like he's a literal clown.
He's literally being a clown. He's trying to dance to scare the kids or whatever.
But if you're, and he's scaring children as well. But if you're like just like a bit like an unhinged person, I'm sick of like characters who are just like, let me just do a knife game or like they play. You know, it's like
come on.
If you're that good of an actor, I think you could
pull off just being crazy with how you talk.
Or like your physical inflections. There's things you can do.
That aren't just.
And I think people need to look back at like this. It's like, because again, I'm not being funny. It's very rarely like when something's the first, it gets topped.
Yeah,
I'm not saying this is the best performance of our ilk, but I think it's one of the best. I think.
I think for its time, this is the psychotic portrayal, whereas the more contemporary one probably is Heath Ledger's Joker, which everyone's trying to do now.
Yeah, it was like that. Then Clockwork Orange came about, and then people were trying to be a bit more like it's just escalated,
a bit more flamboyant.
Yeah,
then now it's Heath Ledger's Joker, and it's more whatever the fuck everyone else is trying to do now.
People need to look. People need to look at like those like 3 years if we're on about Heath Ledger's Joker. It's like 07 with Anton Chigurh, 08 with Heath Ledger Joker, 09 with Christoph Waltz as the Jew Hunt. You need to look at those three and go like, just these are three excellent villain performances.
Yes,
just look at that. If your performance doesn't have to be Ledger, it can maybe be Anton Chigurh. It could be a little bit because I think those three are all very good examples where Heath Ledger is very like over the edge. Anarchist. Christoph Waltz is very more so calm, collected, but still a bit
clearly a bit.
Yeah,
there's something going on there.
Yeah, like he's normal in the sense, but he almost gives you like a dead stare in a sense. And you know when when he drops his smile, it's like, oh fuck. And then you got Anton Chigurh, who's just
he's like
an emotionless Terminator. Basically.
Like he has his morals and stuff, call it.
You say, I need to know what I'm calling for. It's like you've been calling it your whole life.
You just didn't know. You just
didn't know. Such a.
It's so good. Oh my god.
That's what I mean. So, and I think Norman Bates is a good. It's one of the best performances in a Hitchcock film. I think because again it has the layeredness. And also as we know Hitchcock doesn't do that. So that is all Anthony Perkins giving these layers and giving the emotional inflections and giving like things with it.
Which I think is why there's so much of a testament to the performances in a Hitchcock film, because you know that
you barely get any character direction.
You know that everything that's like given to the characters, because the characters are so bare bones, particularly in this one compared to Vertigo. They're the only two that I can compare. But like they're so bare bones that you know everything that is there that you could tell someone about them was put there by the actors. Yeah. Because Hitchcock won't have given them that.
Do this, look there.
Do this, look there.
Yeah.
Say this line now.
Yeah.
Walk to this spot, say another line. It would just be a lot of that.
In a sense, he's by default giving his actors total creative freedom. He's trusting them with hiring them. It's like, well, you should trust me to be directing, so I should just trust you to do a good job. Yeah. So in his head, even if there's a shit performance in a Hitchcock film, he's not going to be there taking the blame for it. It's like, well, they were bad at it then.
Yeah.
Like that's almost kind of what he's doing. He's almost bailing right away where it's like, if you're shit, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
Which it would be, but
but it's still your fault.
It's still your fault. You should go there and but like that's almost what he's doing in a sense. But I don't think there's a bad acting in this.
No, I
film
don't
as
think
well.
so. I think I probably prefer the characters in this overall to Vertigo.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in them.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I'm more. Like,
Yeah.
the Scotty story is intriguing, but I'm not intrigued by Scotty as a character.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, I'm at least intrigued by Marion's motivations and Marion as a character and Norman and there's characters in this to where I'm like, again, whenever I watch the film, I'm like, okay, here's the Marion bit. Oh, we're getting a Bates Motel now. Oh, and then it's like, and now we're after Bates Motel. It's like, here's the sister.
Yeah.
Sam's coming back into her. Here's Arbogast. You know, so it's like all these characters where, and then by the time it's almost like Hitchcock spreads out the characters enough to be like, you've had enough of Marion now. And you've had a lot of Norman now. Now let me take Norman away for a bit so then we can go back to these two characters and then you can get to know them. And now this one character that we've just been introduced and now we're getting used to is now going to visit Norman again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a clever script in that sense. And again, not in a... Again, it's a story film, isn't it?
Exactly. It's very plot driven.
It's so intricate and everything.
Yeah.
Let's talk about like the scares and that with it.
Okay.
Specifically, the three scare scenes.
Yeah.
The first one's the shower scene. It's iconic.
It's great.
I
It's
don't
so
know what
good.
we can say.
Yeah,
in the sense of, like,
there's nothing much more to say about the scene. It's a banger. It's so good.
Part of me almost wants to come on and go like, but it's, you know what? Yes, it's iconic. But maybe it's not as good as it. But no, it is.
It's as good. The reason it's so iconic is because it is as good as everyone says it is.
It's again we're talking about the editing. The edit.
Yeah, it's so good.
They use Dead Space brilliantly, which if you're going to use Dead Space is a key point in horror films.
Yeah.
It's the bit where she is showering and then you see like just a blank bit of shower curtain and then we just see a bit of a shadow and then we go, oh fuck, that
looks like a person holding a knife. Yeah. Oh dear, it's a person holding a knife.
And then again the Bernard Herrmann score with the striking violin, which of course is a memory representation of the knife just it's great.
Oh, it's good.
It's great. And of course we know I think I've told you this. Storyboarding is my least favorite thing of directing. I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it.
Yeah.
I feel like it shouldn't be needed at points. However, Hitchcock was an absolute. He wanted storyboards.
Yeah.
And this, I've seen the storyboards of the shower scene.
Yeah.
Which was done by Saul Bass, who did the opening title sequence, which is a brilliant opening title sequence again.
Yeah.
And it's all there. They're not exact shot, but it's like he storyboarded each cut.
Yeah.
So he knew exactly, right, we need the camera there because then it's going to cut then. Like, it's
so good.
It sucks.
Yeah, it
storyboarding sucks. But it is like, this is proof to be, because if Hitchcock just went, we'll just figure it out on the day, would we still be talking about the shower scene if he just kind of wung it?
No, probably not.
But the fact he knew exactly, like, right, we need a shot to be this angle, but we can't show a tits because Jesus Christ.
Because Christ, the hair's code will be
Jesus
down on our fucking ass.
So it's like, we can't do that, so we need to figure out the exact... Shots that aren't even on the screen for a second would have had to be planned for hours.
Yeah.
Like,
Which is fucking crazy.
It's terrifying to think about that, because again, we're in the midst of... We're doing test shoots right now for things.
Oh, God,
and we have to be thinking about cameras, stuff now, and it's like...
Storyboards.
Yeah.
Dude, right, here's a question for you. When you storyboard, do you draw out every shot even if it's a repeated shot?
I don't anymore.
I do.
I now just match what I write on the shot list. And within the shot list, you don't do that. It's more so I'm using the storyboard to be like, that's the angle we need.
Yeah.
And then I'll go to the editor and then go, we need it.
Yeah. Okay.
And recently, because... similar things happened. Last night I did a test shoot.
Yeah.
And we did the same thing where like I just had the camera rolling on me.
Yeah.
Because I had to step in to be the actor because we haven't cast yet.
Right.
But I had, like on me. But I just played a full moment out. But I know that I want like it's like a front shot of me reading a book.
Right.
That ends up reading the letter.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I want at some point to cut in that shot of the over the shoulder that I've got of me reading the book, then reading the letter.
Right. Okay.
But instead of me writing that on storyboard of each like cut, I probably should, because the storyboard's meant to be what are we seeing in the film and in the cut.
Yeah.
But at the minute, that's not what I'm doing to save time.
Yeah.
But I might have to do it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Down the line. Yeah.
to help the editing.
Yeah.
But again, it's a scare. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a shadowy, womanly figure.
Just runs in and just fucking.
Yeah.
Because I was confused. Well, not confused, but I was surprised at the placement of it. Because in my head,
where it hit
for some reason, I thought it was going to be the end. Because I didn't know what it was actually about.
That was similar to when I watched Rebel Without Cause for the first time, where James Dean's like, "You're tearing me apart." It's in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was expecting that to be the big end or something, but it's like,
It's weird.
It's interesting where we assume iconic scenes for films are the ending.
Yeah, because she was in the it just cuts to her in the shower, and I was like, oh,
is this
what now?
Yeah.
Or is she going to be in the shower first and he's going to be watching her and then later on he's
So
going to
did you think the story was going to be like marrying in the hotel?
I thought it was just her in the motel, yeah.
With like a slashery type of...
Yeah.
That's not terrible. I'm sure that's been done before, though, of like someone goes to a hotel and there's a slasher in the hotel and there has to be a final girl situation.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I had an idea for a funny horror film whilst watching Halloween 3.
We'll discuss it after the
Yeah. I'm sure
you
you'll
say
enjoy
that
it.
to me and I go like...
What?
I'll make it.
Yeah.
We'll make that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's that scare. We've got the Arbogast kill, which is one of my favourite kills in any horror film ever. It's almost... I'll put it in my top 5 favourite jump scares. Because it does count.
It is a jump scare,
It's like... It's the big over, like, bird's eye view thing of Arbogast walking up the stairs.
Yeah.
We're all in the house. We're like...
Yeah, folks, get out of there. Get out of there.
And then again, the big striking music of... And then, like, we just see from our point of view, just an elderly woman just rush round the corner with a knife. And then just... Goosh. And then, again, it's...
The shot is so good. I think that's my favourite shot in the movie.
The top shot.
The going down the stairs.
Yeah, it's a cool...
When he's falling down the stairs, it's fucking great.
It's so stylistic. I love it. It's like...
Yeah.
And again, the blood trickle. That would have been horrifying back then. That's what I mean. And then he falls. And then I forget that we see Norman rush on him. And then I forget you see that. I forget I see that.
Yeah.
And then because I was thinking to myself, and then the next scene is Lillian and Sam talking about going there.
Yeah.
And then that's such a perfect place. But again, if you think about this, we're not terrified of it because it's...
No, yeah.
Yeah, but if you think then, where... Again, I think this was the first horror film that dealt with humans being the monsters and humans being the killers.
Yeah.
Because before then it was like ghosts and vampires and
ghoulies
monsters and big monster aliens and all.
Yeah.
But this was the first film that actually dealt with like a human can kill you.
Yeah.
So that's almost terrifying to imagine. Again, 1960 being like,
should be
wait,
horrified.
can that guy kill me as well? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, so you get this like horrifying of like someone walking up the stairs.
Yeah.
And someone rushes round, which is like, shit, turn around. Oh, no. And then you see blood fall down, and that's like fear-inducing. He falls. And then you see someone lunge on him, and then it's not a pretty, it's not delicately choreographed. It's like he swings his arms very frantically.
Very aggressively and very just out of nowhere.
And again, it looks just like an old woman. It's not like someone who's in a spooky getup. It's God, that could...
It just looks like a lady.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It looks like anybody.
So it's... And then immediately, like, after that, someone's just probably shook by that. And then you see the two other characters that are, like, our protagonists being like,
we should go.
We need to go there. And then you're thinking,
like,
no,
God, don't do it.
No. So then they go, and it's... Again, it's perfect horror beats without being, like, a scare every second. Because, like, again, Hitchcock does it really well. And I think that's what a lot of modern horror does quite... And other horror films do quite well. They spread out their scares.
Yeah.
Like, they have, like... The whole film isn't about, we're going to scare you now. Woo!
Woo!
It's like, build. A big scary thing happens, and now let's breathe for it. We then get tense because we don't want another scary thing to happen again.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, oh, God. Because if you just keep getting scares after scares after scares, you get conditioned to it. You get like...
exactly.
Yeah.
Like the Conjuring films do that very well.
Yeah,
In terms of all the scary stuff that happens at night.
Exactly.
In the day, they're very... All of them are kind of structured like this, where the daytime stuff is all... It's nice. Don't expect any scares. It's not going to happen, but you're still shitting yourself when night comes around again. It's going to happen.
I'm going to say when I see Valak and I'm like shit.
Yeah.
And I never want to see that fucking nun again until and then when she does pop up in the film, I'm like fuck. Because then again the film does.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Again, I'm studying the horror genre and what a horror beats are.
Yeah.
you need to pepper them in. You
Yeah.
can't just do like big scary, but it also is a bit of a waste if you don't do anything until like the end, because it's like,
exactly.
then what was this?
Then what was the point?
I'll argue Hereditary isn't that.
Okay.
Dave went to me, he goes like, it's just a grieving drama, and then just horror happens at the end. I'm like, I disagree. There is horror spliced in there. Have you seen Hereditary?
I haven't.
I don't want to spoil
I'm
anything.
not a big Ari Aster guy.
You've only seen Midsummer.
Yeah.
I
And
didn't
I've decided I'm not a big
I
Ari
need
Aster
I need
guy.
to show you some of his short films.
Okay. Cool.
There's one
Oh.
short film
Yeah.
called, it's like 20 minutes,
All
or
right.
half an hour-ish,
Yeah.
called The Strange Thing About the Johnsons.
All right.
And if you know about The Strange Thing About the Johnsons, that's all I'm telling you.
Okay. Okay.
I'm literally not saying a single word about
Sounds
it.
pretty fucking spooky.
It's-
I don't know about this.
Spooky?
Just fucked. Just unnecessarily fucked.
Fuck's a good word for it.
Like Midsummer, how it's just unnecessarily fucked for no reason.
It's not necessary.
Yes, it is unnecessarily fucked.
We do a commentary on Midsummer.
Yeah, I know we are.
Eventually.
The bit where the guy goes off the cliff.
Yeah.
Unnecessarily fucked.
Nah.
But continue.
Hereditary isn't quite like that.
Okay.
You might like Hereditary.
I might
That's
give
not me
it-
saying you will, or like I
Yeah,
think you
yeah.
will. You might.
One of these days I might give it a go. I
It's
don't
not
know.
massively long, so it's not.
Yeah.
It's like an hour and 40
It's
odd.
on Netflix for a minute.
Is it?
Maybe.
I feel like it is.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
I saw it the other day. I don't know.
But either way, so the film spaced out scares really well
Mm.
with that, and again, even to the final scare,
Yeah, yeah.
which is, I love it still as well. It's like, even though I know what's gonna happen,
Yeah.
I know it, and I don't get
When
scared by it, but it's
But when the chair spins around.
and then big old
Yeah.
Norma there, turns around
Oh, hello.
and just is like glaring right at Lillian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sup. And then
Sup.
Lillian again does another quality scream queen scream
Yes.
of screams, knocks the light, which
Yeah.
again cool horror effect of just a swinging light.
Oh, so good.
Hear the steps, turns around, and
Mm.
it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then
Runs in.
yeah, it's
Sam saves the day. But I love the
well, when he's like when the wig falls off and then takes it,
Yeah.
as if we didn't already know.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we know. We're aware.
It's the shot is almost like framed as if like wig falls off. Wait, that's
It's
Norman.
Norman? Yeah, we
I
know.
guessed as soon as he popped his head in.
Yeah,
And
yeah. But it's like when I love the screaming and smacking the light. Genius. Like showing the light getting smacked. Because sometimes
yeah, again inserts. Again, just
horror films would just go flashy lights. It's happening because it's a spooky moment or whatever. But it's like no, she hit the light and it gives it a cool lighting effect.
again.
and-
Hitchcock
yeah.
is such a fucking king of directing moments.
Yeah, yeah.
it's like that's
It's
almost
good.
like. I mean, it helps us. I mean, but this is one thing I've learned
Mm.
when doing Crime Pilot,
Yeah.
because Crime Pilot was the very first thing that I directed that I hadn't written at all.
Yeah.
I didn't write A Very Merry Gary Christmas. Will wrote that, but we both came with the story.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we both had a creative input on it. He just wrote the screenplay.
Yeah. Okay.
But with Crime Pilot, I didn't have a single say in the creative matter whatsoever.
Mm.
So my only focus was trying to direct it
Yeah.
and then read the script from almost a subjective point of view. An object? What's the word?
Objective. Yeah.
From an objective point of view.
Mhm.
Almost from like how an audience would read it.
Yeah.
And be like, right, what can I do with that?
Mhm.
And then that's where I felt like, personally, I think I did some of my better directing
Yeah.
in terms of like visual storytelling with
Yeah.
it. Like that's where we found experiment with pull focus. Well, experiment with pull focuses,
Yeah.
light gels,
Mhm.
camera movement.
I was
Like,
gonna say I felt like I did my best work on Crime Pilot.
yeah.
Yeah.
But my thing with that is like Hitchcock clearly doesn't write his films. It's almost like he has someone write the screenplay for him, so he doesn't have to worry about like,
yes.
but the story and
It's more the script is given to him and he goes.
and he's like, let me
okay.
see what I can do with
Yeah,
that. Which is kind of what I'm trying not to struggle with Love Bethany at the minute.
Yeah, okay.
I'm feeling a little bit too attached to like the story, and I'm not
Yeah.
focusing too much on how I want it to fully look
come
and
to life
feel.
and stuff. Yeah.
Whereas like it was a lot easier for me to do that with the Four Horsemen,
Yeah.
a Crime Pilot, and I think that's an example with in this film where it's like
Mm.
he almost has a semi-detachment to the story to the point of where
Yeah.
all he's doing is like, how do I make this look then?
Yeah. How do I make this really fucking cool
Yeah.
to watch?
And again, I love when Marion's driving. That's one of my favorite moments.
Yeah.
Because it's so cool as well. And it only occurred to me watching it today. I'm like, we don't see moments like that where we hear someone thinking about what the conversation might be.
Yeah. Yeah.
We either hear just previous dialogue that we've already heard going through someone's head, or we hear a narration in their head going like, because this very well could have just played dialogue we already heard before. Yeah. This could have very well have been Marion just going like, we just hear narration of Marion going like, what if they go back and then they realize it? And then but like it's so cool to just hear dialogue that hasn't happened or probably isn't, but she's thinking will. Like again, like the guy with the cowboy hat was like, I knew she took the money, and then the boss like, no, she wouldn't do that. It's like, well, they weren't at the bank, and it's like, or like stuff like that, or like hearing things about like where her sister visit, or we're hearing like what if scenarios in her head. It's such a cool story perspective I don't see a lot of, actually.
No, not so much nowadays.
And I'm surprised at that. Yeah. Like we might get like, it's usually in comedy films where it's like we get the one scene where like a guy goes up to a girl, then he just vomits, and then it cuts back to him stood at the party again. I was like, oh, that didn't actually happen. That's him working out scenarios.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, scenarios
like
that
being super bad or whatever.
Yeah. But we don't get scenarios where it's like someone's just sat there and we're hearing a scene that we don't know if it is playing out or not.
Yeah.
Again, this film is simplistic in terms of some elements.
But in terms of its actual like creative execution,
it's so well crafted, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where it like weaves into it.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to discuss before we discuss the ending. I haven't looked into it loads, but over the last few years, this film's gone a little bit of flack.
Oh.
For two things: poor representation of mental health.
Oh.
And poor representation of transgender.
Oh.
Which.
Okay.
So I watched this film with that in mind as well.
Yeah.
Again, I'm one of these people who is neither someone who has suffered with any form of like bipolar schizophrenia, split personality, which is again what this film diverts to. McAvoy is a good example of like that type of a performance in modern day, actually. And I'm not a transgender person, so I can't necessarily. I don't feel like I'm necessarily comfortable talking about that perspective. Because I don't think, because people say, looking at it and go, they're thinking like the film is trying to say people with split personalities are psychotic. Men who dress in women's clothing are psychotic. Okay. I don't think the latter is true. I don't think the latter is trying to be like, if you're a man and you're in women's clothing, you must be a lunatic.
It's
the perception back then might have like, but I don't think the film is trying to say that's the message.
No, because I agree with that, because I think he's not the basis of his psychosis isn't the fact that he's dressing like a woman. It's
his mother.
He's dressing like his mother because his mother is linked to his psychosis.
It's not a gender sexuality based thing. It's an attachment to the mother, which is where it comes into the split personality thing. The film does have it like he's a split personality. He has split personality. That's why he's a murderous psychopath. And this is where a slight conversation we can bring into this, because this is something that I do think about. No, I do not think if you do have a split personality, you are a mental rage and lunatic. I do not think that. Do I think? Because it's funny because it is a real thing as well. But in terms of taking that out, a character-based thing where someone is flicking through these mentalities is interesting to me anyway. And it's interesting to think about what if a murderer was like that. Not if a person, not like that's making someone murderous. Almost like,
but what if a murderer
happened
to?
Because from the sounds of things, he didn't have an amazing bringing up anyway.
No,
his dad died young.
It seemed like it started to happen.
He killed his mother anyway.
He killed his mother anyway before, which seems to be before the sort of split personality stuff was happening anyway.
As the psychiatrist kind of said, he would. Once his mother died, then he kind of became Norman and Norma. So
that to me kind of says that he was already
a bit.
He was already like mentally broken to the point where he would murder because he murdered his mum anyway. He murdered his mum and her lover anyway. So
which
like I think
I thought it would have been a lot more of an in-depth thing, but we can't just
yeah.
solve it there in a sense where it's like, I don't think the film is saying split personality means murderer.
Yeah, no.
Neither do I think it's saying transgender means you are
Yeah.
a lunatic.
Yeah. It is saying there's this murderous guy.
The wind just fucking hit the house
Yeah,
massively
it did,
there.
fucking Jesus. It's saying there's this murderous guy who kills people, and then he is also has this split personality, which feeds into the plot. Like, it's like that's...
It would have been a lot different if Norma was neglectful of him because he had a split personality.
Yeah.
That would have been different.
Yeah.
But she was a bit neglectful. Not neglectful. No, I don't think... like.
Not neglectful, but she, he was clearly upset by the death of her dad. She got with someone else after the dad died.
And then he got jealous that the fact of, like,
yeah.
you betray, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can, because I can maybe understand how people might look at Split and be a bit,
Yeah.
because they are right saying DID is making him like this.
Yes, exactly.
Shyamalan kind of gets away with it in the sense of, like, but it's a super villain. Say, but don't say DID then.
Yeah,
in my
exactly.
head, it's
Yeah,
like just
to-
make it like
yeah, to me it's
make it an
like-
unknown
Yeah.
thing.
It's
but-
a thing it's the thing that his brain can do.
Like, even
because
have,
this
like-
is the superpower sort of thing.
even have like a doctor being like, we've tried to diagnose him, but we can't. There's nothing that fits it.
Yeah, exactly.
But the
It's
RSC, he has DID.
yeah,
And
Which
that's
is-
why he's like that.
which is not
No, it's not.
cool.
I like
really.
I like Split, but it is a
Yeah.
bit.
But that yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit.
There's a different way to go around that.
But there's
And, like,
nothing in this film to where, again, we are obviously people who do, who are big advocates for mental health support. You've said that you have your own experience
Mhm.
with it. I don't see this film as a means of like exploiting it.
No.
And I only wanted to bring that up because it has been a topic that has been brought up over
Yeah.
the past. And I do think, because I'm also someone who thinks like that no one is pure evil.
Yeah.
Even some of the more horrific, murderous people. You're not born bad human.
Mm.
You're born human, and then something's up.
Yeah.
I'm not saying something's wrong. I'm saying something's up
Yeah, exactly.
to where your mind almost switches into that.
Yeah.
People say sociopathic tendencies, but you don't have to be a sociopath to be a
No.
murderer.
No.
But like, again, you look at like, again, there's people like Bundy or
Mm.
Manson or the guy that influenced Psycho,
Yeah.
Ed Gein. There's something up with them to
Mm.
where they think that this is okay for them to do.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with it, but I do think so. I don't necessarily feel like, again, even if you look at like, I think that's what does a good job with this. Even Norman Bates isn't evil.
Yeah.
He's not like this, like unstoppable, like monstrous force.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
a troubled person.
Yeah.
I think the film does a very safe job in terms of actually not saying exactly what's wrong with him, because
No,
then again
exactly.
the association will be like, so you're saying that he's a murderer because of this?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like he's. Maybe that's why the psychiatrist was a bit riddly with it.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what I think.
But also, like,
Also, I don't think in that time period
that's
they
what I
knew
mean.
quite- yeah.
Like, they probably wouldn't have understood it properly in that time period anyway.
Considering the time period, it's actually aged decently.
Yeah,
I
it
think,
has.
for what
Yeah,
it is.
I think so.
Because I've said I love a horror film.
Mm.
So when I'm watching a horror film, I want horror.
Yeah.
I want like darkness, and I want, even in a bit of a slasher film, I want to see some kills.
Yeah.
That's what I'm watching a film for
Mhm.
this type of purpose, and this film does that.
Yeah.
But also, you're in this very delicate situation of like, well, if you're dealing with a human killing someone, you need to be like,
Yeah,
why
why
is
is
he
he
doing
killing
that?
someone?
And then it's
Yeah.
like, you need to be careful about saying why that's the reason why.
Yeah.
That, I think, again, it's aged well in the sense of like, I don't think they gave a solid answer.
Mm.
They can
Yeah,
say
yeah.
split personality, but they never diagnose it.
Mm.
For all we know, it could be a supernatural thing that Norma
Yeah.
has actually haunted.
Yeah, she's
Norman.
like, he's haunted by her spirit or something like that.
You
Like,
could, yeah, but it
Yeah.
isn't that.
yeah, but
But you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
but I mean,
So little an explanation's given anyway.
that'll lead on to talking about the ending of it, which
Mhm.
is, it's one of my, it's top tier, like end things for me.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like whenever we move out of the office and we go down the hall, and I know we're about to, I'm always like,
Let's
like,
go.
it's
Here we
such
go.
a small scene. We
Yeah.
hear Norma.
Mm.
And then, like, again, Anthony Perkins giving such a fucking silent performance. This is the scene where I'm
Yeah.
like, God, he would have been amazing as a silent
Yeah,
era.
yeah.
And, he's like, with the blanket. beautifully framed as well, where there's just this empty blank wall space, and he's sat there with like a grey. The color palette again for black and white's great. Light wall, a darker grey blanket, and he's still wearing just black clothing. It's cool, like layered color black and white stuff on it. And then even like the simple thing about like then we get the close up on the fly again, cutting to close ups of things. But like, I hope they're watching. Yeah, they'll see, and they'll say, "Well, she won't even harm a fly." It's very good. It's such an iconic line. And again the look that it's so class. The way just somebody looks up, gives the grin. And one of my favorite transitions of anything ever. I'm not sure if you noticed it when it fades to the car. Just before we fade fully to the car, on the face of Norman is Norma's skull.
Really?
When he's smiling, you can see the teeth and like the dead black eyes.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
So
that's
it's
cool
such
as fuck.
it's cool, and then the car gets pulled out, which is like okay with the end.
Yeah,
it's that very moment where like again I did it this time round. I go fuck it. That's why I love this film. Yeah. Like the film almost like there's no moments in the film where I'm like fucking you, get in there. It's like it's almost like the film is I'm on a ride, waiting for that ending.
Yeah.
But I couldn't have appreciated that ending if I didn't see the rest of the film.
Before. Yeah.
So once it gets to the end, it's like, fucking get in. Yeah. What a belter of a flick.
It is good.
And again, it's not long enough to where it's like, come on. And again, the film is just, it's off.
Yeah.
Like there's no, again, we talked about, we could maybe, from our perspective, you can cut that bit off. With the police.
The police, yeah.
But that's still not a bad scene, though, is it?
No, it's still well.
It's not like
well
this
shot.
is dragging.
Yeah, it's well shot. It's well directed.
Good suspense stuff.
Yeah,
it's good for making us perceive the plot that we think we're getting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Until the shower scene, and then we get the horror film.
Yeah.
Which,
it's pretty good, isn't it? It's pretty good.
It's a good horror flick.
Yeah.
Discussing now, I would safely say this would be within my top 5 horror films.
Yeah.
It would be a number 4. My number 3 are like, it's technically American Psycho is my number 1.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch, although you can maybe argue that not being quite horror.
I wouldn't say it's a horror film, but
I never used to, but then I heard people say it is.
Okay.
And then I see it in a horror story. Kind of is, kind of isn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. It has its elements.
Yeah.
I say it just in there. But also like The Shining.
Yeah.
And Black Christmas, the original.
Okay.
Psycho.
Yeah.
The original Halloween is also in there.
Yeah.
That'd be my top 5, I would say.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? Oh, no. I'm an idiot. Technically, I would say like Lighthouse would also be. And like Midsummer, I love as well. But like, is there?
Evil Dead 2.
I haven't seen it yet, so I can't say.
That's mine.
Is that your favorite horror film?
Probably. So I mean, it's the only horror film that's in my top 10 ever.
Yeah, so
it's got to be on it, really.
Yeah. I like the Blair Witch Project a lot.
Yeah. I fucking love Evil Dead. Holy shit.
I feel like I would enjoy it.
I love those movies. Army of Darkness. I don't know.
It's a different type of film.
It's so different from what the other two are. But then when you look at a lot of the iconography for those movies, a lot of that comes from Army of Darkness.
Oh, okay.
Him calling the shotgun a boomstick.
Boomstick, that's it.
Like that. That's like Hail. What's it? Is it Hail to the King?
Right.
Or whatever, where he's like Hail to the King, baby, and then kisses. Yeah. All that's Army of Darkness.
Oh, right. Okay.
The only the iconic stuff that you get from the other two is like the chainsaw hand and whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck me, I love those movies so much.
Again, I've got them.
Have you?
The Evil Dead trilogy. I don't own the remake yet.
So
we keep talking about it. We said that we were going to do this year. We were going to watch them.
Yeah.
It's this month for us.
It's always
mental.
so fucking busy. Yeah.
Next year wouldn't be.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, I mean.
Yeah.
We won't be in uni.
Yeah, depending on what we're doing with our lives at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might watch Evil Dead actually at some point. I might watch it tonight.
Fuck it.
Put it on whilst I'm looking at fucking companies or whatever.
Let's move on to the intermission.
Yeah, boy.
Before we do that, I want to say, I forgot to say it in the intro.
Oh, yeah.
Links in the description.
Ah, shit, yeah.
Yeah. Again, we discussed it briefly there for mental health information and stuff. If you're struggling, this isn't the solution to your problem. This is the first step to your problem. And again, as I have also said before, you have survived your worst days. you'll continue to keep surviving your worst days as well.
Yeah.
So links in the description below if you are feeling that you are in a bit of struggle, trouble.
Yeah.
There's information in the description there for those things. As well as our GoFundMe links are still going.
Yes. Still going.
I don't think I've advanced any further.
I haven't. I need to put an Instagram
When's
post on.
payday for people?
I don't know.
Leo mentioned that to me when you need to wait
Yeah,
till payday, then
yeah,
you
and then
start
you'll get
seeing
stuff.
people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, mine hasn't advanced much.
is it usually the end of the month? I don't know.
It's usually the
So maybe
start-
this week?
It's usually the start of the month.
Oh, so
It's
probably
usually the first. For me, it's first Friday of every month, but
we'll see what happens next week then
yeah.
with it. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna put an Instagram post on. I think to be like, still raising money.
Yeah.
Give me money, please.
You need to remind people usually.
Yeah.
You need to do a thank you to all that I've donated so far.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because maybe some people didn't realise. You
Yeah.
need to keep doing that.
But just a photo of the scripts, maybe a few other concepts.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of concept art of stuff that we've gotten so far. I don't know. Maybe I've got some props that have been designed and maybe some costumes. I don't know.
It looks good. I haven't seen the costumes, but the
pretty fucking sweet.
the props look cool.
Yeah, I'm very
I
excited
do.
about it.
As well as Instagram links, that's where you can see all this thing, all this stuff. You can go to either our own individual Instagram links to see us posting stuff for our final major project, our final university films that we're both directing. Separate films, we're not directing the same film.
Yeah.
And also the Intermission Instagram, which at the Intermission Podcast, that's the best place to see any news about Intermission. As well as if you want to get in contact with us, you can. Has anyone gone?
Oh shit, yeah, that's a good
I
point. We haven't checked in a few weeks.
I don't think it has. We
See if we've got any DMs.
We had
There's some.
comment on once again requesting.
Once again requesting Bennett like Beckham and Green Street. In case you're watching, Sam, he won't be, but if you're watching, fuck off.
No,
We're not doing Bennett like Beckham,
No.
and we're not doing Green Street.
no.
We'll get to Shawshank one day.
At some point,
Stop asking, all right?
we don't.
I'll
have,
probably be seeing him this weekend. I imagine.
Okay,
Maybe. I don't know if he's going to
we don't have
Liverpool.
any more.
We don't?
you know.
God damn it.
But yeah, that's where you can go for all that stuff as well.
Yeah,
Remember to
boy.
subscribe to the Chanel.
Chanel.
I'm getting the word out there a little bit more.
Oh,
Getting the
really?
word a little bit out there, yeah. About in the sense I just bring it up, and then some people go like, "You've got a podcast." I was like, Robbie and I do, and they go, "What's it called?" And then they just
Yeah.
maybe I should just drop that in a bit more.
We should drop into conversation more, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, I do a little bit more slightly in the sense of I go like, Robbie, we're still good for tomorrow.
Yeah, and everyone's like,
What was that? What was that about a podcast?
Yeah.
Or we briefly make a little joke about us
Yeah.
that we make on here or whatever,
Yeah.
and then we get people go, wait, what?
What? I wonder if
Yeah.
any of the lecturers listen to it.
Alison, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
I sent the link to Johnny Udale, but I don't know.
Oh, I feel like you'd have listened.
He
to
was
a couple of
interested,
them,
but
yeah.
I'm not sure if he's.
Yeah.
It depends on what we do, I guess.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Lee doesn't know it exists.
No, I'm sure. No, he knows it exists.
Does he?
Yeah, I've told him before. We joked about the Deer Hunter episode in one of his
We
lectures
did,
before.
we did,
I feel
yeah.
he knows about it. He probably just doesn't care.
He's
He's
not going to listen to ours.
He don't fucking care what we get up to in our spare time. He sees us for like an hour a week now, and then that's about it.
2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours a week.
We've had a bit more this week, but
Yeah, God, I've loved it.
yeah.
I love
Every
him so
moment.
much. I love him so much.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Johnny Udale, if you are listening to this, mention it to us.
Yeah,
next time
hope
you
you-
see us.
Hope you're doing well.
By the time this
well
comes out,
soon.
we will have seen him.
Is he coming? Is he coming back tomorrow?
We're back on Friday,
Oh,
apparently.
brilliant!
Yeah.
Oh, I look forward to seeing him then.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Alison knows us,
Yeah.
as in the podcast, not just us.
Flimmity flam.
Flimmity flam.
Yeah.
Probably mention that at some point.
We'll mention it when it gets closer
Yeah.
to the time when it's happening.
I don't know what we'd be doing intermission wise by that point anyway.
That's a good point. We'll probably mention it in the
Top 10.
Top 10 of the episode. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's go. We are in the intermission,
The intermission.
section of it.
Yeah, boy.
Before we go on to what we have seen
Oh yeah.
and our Newcastle trip,
Yeah.
before that,
Yeah. Okay.
I realised last week we mentioned that we were going to talk about the Cowboy Bebop thing. We went we'll get to
Cowboy
that in the
Bebop?
intermission, on the Netflix Cowboy Bebop
Oh
thing.
yeah.
I just want to briefly mention it because the new trailer is out as well.
I haven't seen
since
it
then.
yet. Have you seen the new trailer yet?
I have. Now I want to say my
Can we watch it and cut it out so we can talk about it?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, because I haven't seen it yet.
I'll cut this section out then.
This is exciting.
Okay.
Okay.
Your point of view from someone who's never seen the anime.
I've never seen the anime. Okay. That looks fucking great. That looks like so much fun. It made me want to watch the anime. I want to watch it before I watch the live action because I feel like I should.
Please do. I can literally lend you my Blu-ray.
It's all on Netflix now.
Is it now on Netflix?
It's been put on
Fuck's
Netflix.
sake, it disappeared when I really wanted to watch it.
It's been put on Netflix. It was on there last night when I looked anyway. That looks really cool. That looks really fun.
Right, the very first thing I saw of it was the intro.
Okay, yeah.
When they released the intro,
Yeah.
I was like, it's just the anime intro.
Yeah.
It's literally just the anime intro, and it looked like it was gonna be shot for shot. I was like, what's the point? What's the point of this?
Yeah.
And I want to say, like, Cowboy. I'm a recent fan of Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop isn't me anything I've been grown up with or like I loved for a long time.
Yeah.
It's been a show I've been aware of and really wanted to watch for 10 years. So then this summer I went, you know, fuck, I'm gonna finally watch it.
Yeah.
I didn't love it as much as I thought I would. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars in Letterboxd.
Okay.
But in my head, I'm like, I feel bad not giving it 5. That's where it's at with me with it. So I really like the anime. And so then the intro came out. I was like, it just looks like the anime. Is this going to be shot for shot? What the fuck's the point? Just put the anime on.
Yeah.
And then I saw the little preview of Netflix threw out there with like a few, like, it looks like a little compilation of scenes.
They did
and it was very edited, like Scott Pilgrim-y.
Yeah,
And I'm like, right, it's cool.
that was really.
But why is it Scott Pilgrim-y? That's not Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop's not stylized like that.
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop is not a wacky jam action
Yeah.
series. It's a if anything, it's a bit of a mixture of Bruce Lee and Blade Runner in the sense like there's a lot of like slower moments, but there's good action set pieces in it.
Right. Okay.
But it's not a wacky time. It's quite. There has like comedy episodes, but it's not a. By the end of the series, it's sad. It's quite a depressing story by it all. And then watching that's been the best thing I've seen of this thing.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I like John Cho's. I don't like John Cho as a choice for Spike because Spike isn't nearly 50 years old.
Yeah.
Even the style of clothing, he doesn't look like he fits it.
No, he doesn't.
He's like,
it doesn't look.
you need a
right.
young, like Henry Golden, maybe.
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
But like, I don't know. So
Even
but like,
Stephen Yeun wouldn't he be?
Yeah, Stephen Yeun would have been decent.
As like in your face being.
Yeah, that would have been cool. But like, again, but like even like I like the. He looks good in it though.
Yeah, he does.
Like,
his performance looks really.
And again, I like the dynamic with the three of them because that's also a big thing within the show.
Right.
It takes a while to eat because it's a first Spike and Butch. I can't remember I forgot the bloke's name. The big bloke.
Yeah.
It's just those two for a good few episodes.
Right. Okay.
And then I forgot the last's name as well. Then she gets introduced.
She's different to how she is in the anime, isn't she?
Appearance-wise.
No, as in like personality-wise. I thought I've heard people complain that in the anime she's not very funny, whereas in this she looks like she's all quips all the time, baby.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't. It wasn't apparent to me.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
She's more fuck your rules.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
She's again, the best way I can describe, they always end up going back as a team, but it's almost like she ends up tagging along with them, and Spike's like, "Fuck, why?"
Yeah, okay.
Like she's just someone that they encountered,
right? And now she's just sticking around.
And he's like, "God damn it!" Like Spike is like, "Just leave. We don't need you."
Yeah.
Like they're going on their own shit. Like they're bounty hunters.
Yeah.
So it's more like Spike looks at her like she's getting in their way,
right?
And she's like tagging along type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck's sake, man. Like so again, like little things where it's like he points and goes like, "Spike, don't kill her. Please."
Yeah, please.
Or just like, I just want to kill her just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, I like moments I'm like, okay, I can see, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
The action looks neat.
The action looks fucking great.
The action looks neat. I like that as well. There's little hints of episodes which I know.
Yeah.
There's that one shot where it's a stained glass window of like, where Spike's on the floor like that.
Yeah,
that's a shot. That's an absolute recreation from a shot in there.
Yeah.
And that's episode 4? in the anime.
Right.
And that's almost the turning point where it's like, oh shit, this is the story.
Right.
Fuck.
Okay.
And that's quite an integral moment.
Yeah,
They look like they're doing that well. Did you know the guy when Spike goes, what the actual
where he's
fuck?
like flying with a big machine gun.
That's a class episode. I'm not gonna say,
okay,
but I saw that moment. I was like,
how many episodes is there of the anime?
27.
Oh,
I'd
okay.
say. It's all
Right.
one season. Anime are kind of
Is it?
like 20 minutes, half an hour.
I imagine it's better off watching it subbed.
Dub's fine. I watched
Dub's
it dubbed.
fine?
I've heard
Oh, okay, well, I
I've
might
heard
watch
people
it dubbed
say
then.
the dub's actually better than the sub. I've actually heard that.
Oh, okay, I might watch it
But
dubbed then.
the it's an anime that isn't quite ingrained. We talked because with Spirited Away. We talked about how that's very Japanese culture.
Yeah.
There's not really much Japanese culture in Cowboy Bebop
Okay.
because it's all space stuff.
Yeah.
You get the odd Japanese like linguist thing, but
Yeah.
they made a sci-fi universe,
Mm.
so it's not really.
It's not really based in any
No,
one.
there might be a
culture,
few
sort
architecture stuff, but it's like
Yeah.
if anything, it feels more so like westerny.
of. Okay.
based. So you can get away with the dub.
Yeah.
I think.
All right. Fair.
I watched it with the dub, and the dub was fine. And I hear people say like the dub's better.
Okay. Fair
Which-
enough. I'll try that then.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but November Summer I'm interested.
19th, I think.
I think that's what it said.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch. I'm
Yeah.
not going to not
Yeah.
watch.
You're not gonna
the-
not watch it.
I'm like
are you?
no.
Yeah.
I'll be intrigued if they keep it like the same length of episodes, or if they.
I don't think it will because the episodes are like 15, 20 minutes, aren't they?
Oh, are they? Yes, yeah.
Of the original
like
anime.
20 minutes to
Yeah.
30 minutes
I'd-
ish.
No, because I don't think. I think it'll be one. It'll be the full show.
But they
Won't
just
be
don't have
that
as many
season.
episodes.
But it'll be hour-long episodes.
Like half the episodes, so
Yeah.
it would be like 13 episodes.
13
yeah,
episodes, that sounds about right. to
They're
me.
all about an hour
About
each.
an hour
but like,
each.
Yeah. But the things with that, they're all like each episode's almost like a mini anthology, like their own little contained story.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they'll do like a part one and a part. I don't know. I'm intrigued. I'm interested. I kind of don't want to just watch the anime but live action though.
Yeah, I don't want it to be
'Cause
a
I'm
like shot for shot. So what's the point?
Like, I could just. You've literally got the anime on
Because
there now.
I don't want to watch the anime in preparation for the live action.
just to watch the
and
live
then,
action.
and then just watch the live action and it's just the anime again.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Real people like that. That would be kind of that blows.
The CGI actually. I was saying that looks expensive.
Do you know what?
Netflix looks like
Yeah.
they shelled out a fucking lot for this.
The first shot where it was Spike looking out and there was like a ship behind him or whatever looks like Speed Racer
right,
in the
okay.
best way possible because I love that movie.
Yes, you do. Yes.
It's one of those fucking bizarre movies that I randomly love because it's great.
Mm.
I think Speed Racer is fucking hilarious. But like, it looks like it has that much care and attention to detail.
Yeah.
Like that level of care for the source material.
Yeah, it
It
does.
is like
it
it looks like it really has.
Because
that.
it doesn't look like they spent money on cast. John Cho looks to be the only big name. in it.
Yeah.
So it looks like they've went,
Yeah.
let's just make people who will see Cowboy Bebop will watch Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
They're not going to see it. I mean, we'll be interested like who's playing them,
Yeah.
but
But you'll watch it anyway.
because Cowboy Bebop, make it look good.
Yeah, it's like
Make it look
it's-
like Cowboy Bebop.
It's like Uncharted,
yeah.
which we didn't talk about last week, but
Didn't we?
I don't think so. I don't know. Briefly, if we did, I can't remember. But briefly, my thoughts were I didn't like the look of the trailer.
Yeah.
But
I think we talked about it right before we started.
yeah. Oh
Going
yeah,
in,
that
yeah,
was it.
yeah,
We
yeah,
talked
yeah,
about
yeah.
the actual trailer.
So I remember we were sat here talking about it,
Yeah.
but I think yeah.
It's I don't like the look of it at all. Just because the casting's wrong. But then I'll still see it because I'm a big Uncharted fan. You'll watch it anyway because it's finally an Uncharted movie.
We've finally gone Uncharted.
Yeah, whether they get the cast wrong or not, which I
Yeah.
think they have. But that's just me.
Yeah. I think, like, again, with Bebop, again, I question John Cho as Spike because of age.
Yeah. But characterization.
But he has the feeling, like, again, he the delivery, again, in the trailer, like, line deliveries, I'm like,
yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see Spike in there.
Yeah.
He's just, like, again, he's just old. He's just older.
Yeah.
And same thing with, like, all of them. Like,
Yes.
they all, like, everyone seems like, okay, they seem, we didn't get much of, I feel so bad, I can't remember the
Character's name.
the name of the big guy.
Okay.
They didn't show much of him in the trailer.
I liked the bit where the window didn't go down.
Yeah.
Where it was the song started, but it didn't start properly because he.
Also, that's
That
one of my
was good.
favorite soundtracks to
That
the
theme
show.
is fucking awesome.
It's
so good.
there's 10 episodes.
10 episodes.
So there
there you go.
definitely
So
will
it's,
be.
yeah.
Jet.
Jet.
That's
Okay.
it. He's brilliant in the show.
Oh, okay.
All of them are. I don't know what I'm saying, but he has one of my favourite episodes. In it, my favourite episode is not the ending titled Real Folk Blues, which is the end song.
Right, okay.
I'll be interested if they keep that as the end credits song. It's like a proper smooth, like...
It looks like they
the
will
Real
do.
Folk Blues.
If they're gonna, like...
They got the theme.
If they're sticking this close, it feels like they probably will.
Faye is the...
Faye
female
is the
star's
girl.
name.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but like, because like the thing with the show, because the show ends up having like it's an ensemble thing, but there's moments where it's like we got a bit of a Spike episode,
Okay, yeah.
and then we get a bit of a Jet episode,
right.
Then we learn a bit about Jet's. Jet has got an ex on a planet that we don't know is his ex until and that's one of my favorite episodes. Faye has such a complex past and really fucking interesting, which I really hope they do nail it. That she's not just I'm the wacky female sidekick now. I kind of don't want that because she is like tragic. The whole that's what I mean. That's the only thing. This show, if they are going to do it accurately to the anime, the show should be tragic by it. There should be episodes where you go, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, that should be a feeling that you have over certain episodes.
Yeah.
The best episodes, I will say. Like, some of, like, the not great episodes are a bit like, oh, that was a bit silly.
Yeah.
Like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, true.
But, like, some of, like, the more, like, so I'm just worried of seeing, like, oh, flashy, like that.
Yeah.
Like, is it just going to be like, oh, this is a wacky action, a space action flick? Evidently, they don't want to be showing that.
In the trailer.
Yeah, they want to show some sort of, like, fun. Come and watch a big space thing.
Yeah.
And then with the hope of you getting invested in the characters.
And then
you're,
stuff
yeah. Same thing with BoJack Horseman, I guess. BoJack Horseman was kind of like, hey, watch like this horse comedy.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, it's like, fuck, this is...
I don't like BoJack Horseman.
Oh, I love it so much.
There, I said it. Well, I might give it another go.
As in, you got through season 1.
I didn't get through season 1.
You were on season 1.
I watched like 4 episodes of season 1 and I was like, this just isn't.
I'm gonna say you need to keep going with it. I know that's the thing everyone says.
I hate
no. I understand.
Yeah.
But it's one of these things where like they're short enough episodes the way you can get through them.
Yeah.
Season 2, it's not like I will say season 2 is where it's like, okay.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Season 1's just kind of like, all right, let's just.
Yeah. It's fine.
Even towards the end of season 1, you'll be like, okay, I can see what we're doing here now.
Yeah.
And then season 2, I think you would like it. That's why I think you should watch it. Not because Robbie, I love it. So then you should. I do think you would appreciate it, especially even by the end of it.
It might be a sex education situation, which I've started watching again with Julia because Julia wanted to watch it. Which she's already seen all of it. She just thought I would like it and was like, you should give it another go. Because I fucking hated that show the first time I watched it.
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
I remember you said,
I just didn't get it. But now we're like 2 episodes off the end of season 2. Loving it.
Yeah.
Great show. Season 2 is nowhere near as good as season 1.
Okay.
I've not particularly enjoyed the second season.
Right, okay.
And everyone says that the third season is the worst. So
Scared?
But Julia says that it's the third season's her favourite, controversially, so
see how you feel.
Yeah. I liked the first season a lot. Second season, not so much.
Okay.
But yeah. Ooh, are you gonna go on to Newcastle?
I was.
Before that, did you watch the Lightyear trailer?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
It's fucking cool,
It's
man.
weird.
I love it.
It's weird.
Everyone's freaking out about it and being like, this is bizarre, why is this happening?
Reese is like that, yeah.
Love it. I think it looks great.
I'm going to see it.
I think it looks fantastic.
I'm going to see it. Toy Story's very near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
I was more of a Woody guy than a Buzz guy. I said it. But
I think that they've only done it as Buzz Lightyear for the sake of, like, giving it a marketing boost. I don't think this has anything to do with Toy Story.
Oh no, it's Buzz Light. It's gonna. It's meant to be what the toy's based on.
It's the movie. It's the canonical in-universe movie that Buzz Lightyear the toy is based on.
I just find it really funny how I'm watching this epic war trailer with Buzz Lightyear.
Yes, I love the.
What are we living in?
The David Bowie song is perfect.
Somewhere.
Oh my god! What a fucking great choice for the song for this trailer. The whole thing looks great. Emperor Zurg is definitely the villain.
Duh.
Because there was Zurg bots in the trailer. Also, I'm pretty sure it's a time travel thing. I've looked too far into this movie.
You have to.
I think it's a time travel thing.
Right.
Because when it's showing his mission, when he shoots off in the rocket and then fucking slingshots around the sun and comes back to Earth, it has like different points of like what year it's going to be at what point. So I think they're doing an Interstellar. Buzz Lightyear's going to leave Earth, go around the sun, and then he's going to come back and he's going to be a man out of time. Put it on it.
We gotta go back in time.
Stick a $5 on it. Anyone that's listened to this podcast, mark my goddamn words. That's what the plot of that movie is.
Buzz Lightyear's gonna fly in a hole, then all of a sudden,
help! Help me! Help! He's like,
he looks through a bookcase, and it's Andy.
It's Andy. Oh my god! What if the
you're getting too excited. This isn't gonna happen.
What if the Buzz Lightyear in the movie figures out that he's a toy?
This isn't gonna happen, Robbie. This isn't gonna.
I do.
No, we got so excited because that would be amazing, but it's not going.
I do think the movie's a time travel movie, though. I think.
Who's directing it?
I don't know.
Angus MacLean.
What's he done?
Hang on. Director. Finding Dory.
Oh Christ.
Toy Story of Terror. He's done a lot of Toy Story. He's done 2 Toy Story short films. He did Small Fry.
Okay.
And he did Bernie.
Okay.
A Wall-E short. Finding Dory is the only thing he co-directed. Finding Dory.
Finding Dory is not good though. That's upsetting. I know this movie's good.
He's been animation department on Pixar.
Oh, okay.
But
my only gripe with the trailer.
So is a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. My only gripe with the trailer is if you're gonna recast an iconic character like Buzz Lightyear, have him talk in the fucking trailer.
Yeah, why?
Why did he not say anything? Like, you have the end of the trailer just should have been the new Buzz Lightyear
to infinity,
and he says to infinity and beyond, and it's Chris Evans. Because as it stands,
it's just
he just says and. That's the only word he says in the whole trailer. Because his friend goes to infinity and he goes and then the trailer ends, which is fine, because we know what they say, we know what the line is, but also have him say more than just and, so we can get a feeling of what Chris Evans is going to sound like as Buzz Lightyear. Because
it's not like Cowboy Bebop where we're just looking at their actual physicalities. It's like, I'm watching your animation.
Yeah.
Okay, you've done a good job of making it look.
Yeah.
Fine.
Now convince me why you've recast Tim Allen for no reason.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't.
But
just get Tim Allen back.
Imagine Tim Allen was like, I'm not doing it!
I'm not doing it! I've done enough of these goddamn Toy Story films, I'm sick of it.
I did 4 and that was it!
Yep. I'm the only other person in the world except Robbie Tweedale that seems to think that Toy Story 4 was shit. So I'm not doing it anymore.
Or did you make it up?
I've made that
in
up.
this scenario of Tim Allen.
I've made that up. Yeah. That's my Tim Allen scenario. Yeah.
I don't like it!
Fuck it. It's a shit movie. It is a shit movie. Maybe it's not. I don't know. maybe it's not. Maybe I should just maybe I should confront my trauma with that movie head on.
Maybe that should be enough. That should be it. We should do the Toy Story films for commentary as well.
Oh my god.
Our
maybe.
journey to when, because I need to watch it again. I've only seen it since the cinema.
Yeah.
So we can.
Maybe it's alright.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I remember.
Maybe it's a reverse. Maybe I'll hate it.
I remember
and
it as
you'll
being
love it.
the worst movie that's ever existed. But I was having the worst day. I was having a bad day. You know,
Did having a good day for you.
Yeah. So.
Newcastle.
We went to Newcastle.
Newcastle. We specifically went for one reason, and then it became 2 reasons.
Yes.
First of all, this was a. You're right there.
I forgot that we went to the cinema.
Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah,
I forgot that we went, and now I've realised I'm gonna have to talk about that shit movie.
Wait.
Fuck's sake.
Our first of all, this was on a Saturday after we were out last night. The night before. We're not getting into that night because we'll be here too long. We'll be here too long if we're talking about that night.
Yeah.
Basically, I was up till 5. I didn't get back home till 5. I had to wake up at 10 and then and then meet Robbie at 12.
Yeah.
At Spoons to get
a Carter train to get hydrated
to get
fed. And then we
Jesus Christ, I was severe. That was the closest I've been to being hungover. I think I haven't been. That's the closest I've been to being hungover.
I was hungover that day. I don't know why.
And we had a sardine ourselves in a fucking train because we were idiots. Well, we didn't know this.
We picked a time to get on the train when it was a day where Sunderland and Newcastle were both playing at home.
But also Hartlepool as well. So we were trying to dodge the Hartlepool people going to see the Hartlepool footy game, coming out of the train station. We're like, oh, that's it then. Then we just see a line of people in Sunderland shirts. Like, oh, fuck.
What have we done?
And I'm like, then we're like this. Oh, sorry, it's not the metro. We're like this, holding on to seats.
Yeah, I sat down.
Yeah.
Because I kept making mucky looks at a lady and then she moved up. Because it was a... it was a girl that had sat on a 2-seat thing.
She had a bag on one of the seats.
And had a bag on one of the seats when everyone on the train was stood up.
Move your bag.
And I kept dirty eyeing her until she just put her bag on the floor and was like, oh, do you want to sit here? Yeah, I'd fucking love to, love. To be honest. Jesus Christ.
I've never seen so many Stone Islands in my life.
Oh, God. So many short back and sides. So many Stone Islands. Fucking dreadful.
It was as if they cloned Sam Burt.
What? Genuinely. Fucking sleeve tattoos. Little tattoo on the hand.
That wasn't Sam Burt, but yeah.
Tattoo on on here. Probably a lion's head or something.
So yeah, we got off the train.
Sucks. Yeah.
And then we immediately went to the Tyneside Cinema.
Mm.
My second time being in the Tyneside Cinema since lockdown. Your first time at the Tyneside.
My first time being ever.
To see Dune. And this was a film that we were massively anticipating. I'll talk about it then, Robbie. It's fine.
I've done this fucking thing. I've been talking about this goddamn fucking movie for a week now, and I'm sick of it. And yes, the sequel got announced, Robbie. What do you think about it? I don't fucking care. I don't want to see it. I'm gonna have to see it, aren't I, to keep up with being a film fan or whatever. Fucking I've run out of Haribo's. Fucking sucked.
As you can tell, Robbie didn't like it. Me, on the other hand, I didn't like it either. It was the exact same thing. The film ended. I'm going to say this now. We went and sat in the film. Ken, we talked last week. You're a big Blade Runner 2047 guy. 2049. Big Blade Runner guy from there. We're excited to see what Denis Villeneuve was doing next. Yeah. It's a big sci-fi film. I love Timothée Chalamet. I like Denis Villeneuve. He's been a bit hit or miss lately for me, but I like him. Let's see what it's like. And 2.5 hours later, I turned to you after we were both dipping in and out of sleepiness, and then I turned to you and I was like, that was a whole lot of movie, but they said nothing.
Oh my God.
It was so boring.
Oh, it's so slow. It's
so boring.
Fucking boring.
And before I hear people go, what, don't you like long films? If you missed the point of me talking about Seven Samurai being one of my favourite films of all time, that film's an hour longer than Dune, and somehow Seven Samurai manages to do everything
this is what
that this doesn't do. In Seven Samurai does everything that it does in half an hour that Dune doesn't do in its entire runtime. And before I'll get my little ranty rant.
Yeah, go on for it.
I'm paying to see a film, and the first thing I see is Dune Part 1. I instantly know there's no consequences. I know, you know what I'm like when I'm sick of hearing like sequels being announced.
Yeah.
The sequel wasn't even announced at this point.
No.
So I'm thinking to myself,
fucking balls on that.
You've made a film with the intention of we're not finishing the story yet.
You've planned to release an unfinished
You
film.
plan to release the end.
Yeah.
Of a film that I'm already... And it's like, I get it, right? But also, as I said, I've said this to you. You don't watch John Wick and then go, where's the ending? I guess I need to watch the second one.
Yep.
There's an end. There's a full film in there that does have a sequel that continues the story.
Yeah.
There are, even in the Marvel films, which I've said, like, fuck, it's just a setup for the next film. This film makes that look like just one contained story.
Yeah.
Dune makes Avengers look like a little contained character piece.
Oh,
at least with Avengers, at least where it's like any of the Marvel films, at least they're like, this story's over.
Yep. Done. Defeated the bad guy.
We're setting up, but there are setups to the next thing.
Yeah.
This one, we get Timothée Chalamet and Rebecca Ferguson walking around.
Yeah.
People die, I guess.
Yeah, spoilers for Dune. We'll just say spoilers for Dune.
Oh, yeah, we're spoiling Dune.
I want to talk about it.
They're walking around a bit, and then the film ends with Javier Bardem being like, it's just the beginning. And then it ends, and I'm like, I didn't pay. I didn't want to see a film. I didn't want to see specifically this film to be like, let me just have a really long and boring setup to another film.
Yeah.
If this film was an hour short, maybe I could have swallowed the pill easier.
Do you know what I can...
But I'm sick of the thought that people need to make long films We need to be epics.
Yeah.
We need sort your story out then to decide if you're going to be an epic.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I can see.
I haven't read the book either. I want to say that
No,
as
I
well.
haven't.
We have not read Dune.
No.
This is our first exposure to Dune as a property.
Yeah. I can foresee, in the same way that Savior of the Universe with the most boring name in the world, Paul.
Now I understand.
I know it's his name in the book.
I understand
Fine.
Luke Skywalker's Luke.
Yeah. But Luke's a cool name.
Luke's cool than Paul.
Yeah. Well, what about like his like grandson, Cade Skywalker?
Yeah.
Do you know about Cade Skywalker?
I don't.
It's weird.
Okay.
Anyway.
Ask later.
Yeah, right. I can foresee, in the same way that Paul gets flashes forwards to a more entertaining second movie, I can foresee wherever it is that we film this podcast in the future.
Whenever
Dune
Part
2 comes out, I can see it burning to the ground with Molotov cocktails and bricks, because I can see this fucking fan base for this movie turning into a Zack Snyder Justice League situation.
Oh my god,
I
it
can
is
see
going
it.
to.
Because all the Instagram posts of all the actors announcing that the second movie is happening is like, this is all thanks to you, the fans. Thank you for coming out and seeing our independent movie, and we're so against the grain of what these big Hollywood blockbusters are doing, and we are doing this for the love of you guys, the fans. This isn't a studio thing. Every fucking blockbuster in the world's a studio thing, you fucking morons. Like, you're not an independent film. This movie had a huge budget.
Huge.
Like, but this is what annoys me. It's
the
like,
scale was impressive.
like, yeah.
The scale is impressive.
Sorry, yeah. There's a distinction there,
Yeah.
because I remember you telling me that you thought the cinematography was impressive, which I
like the
which is
cinematography.
fine.
The scale is
To
impressive.
me, the scale and the production design are impressive. The cinematography is not, because it all looks so fucking grey and boring, and there's nothing nice to look at.
Yes,
It's
no, it is.
shit.
It's sand. Sorry. What's it fucking?
Spice.
Spice.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Well, there's spice in the sand.
Oh, right.
It's sand, but then there's like spices in there.
I've discovered I hate sandy films.
Oh yeah.
Fuck them.
Well, it's like, imagine.
Right, no, hate's a strong
Go
word.
on. Yeah.
I find them boring.
Yeah.
Lawrence of Arabia.
Never
There's a
seen it.
lot of sand in that film. That's a 4-hour sandy film.
Yep. Sandy boys. 4-hour sandy boys.
My least favourite scenes in Star Wars are when we're on just sand planets.
See, this is what I was going to say. Imagine A New Hope.
But
except
just Tatooine.
it's just Tatooine. And
it's Luke just walking around Tatooine.
yeah, and they never go to Mos Eisley.
And there's a little hint where it's like, oh, I guess I have the Force.
And they like, and every now and again, he looks like he's going to do something interesting. Like, it looks like he's going to get into a fight, but then he starts having a vision to fucking Empire and like the Battle of Hoth, or he has a fucking flash forward to him and Vader's fight at the end of Return of the Jedi or whatever. Like, you know, more interesting things than him just wandering around a fucking sand planet.
Also, there's moments where it's like, we're getting interested now, and then it immediately stops.
Yeah.
As like I said to you, it's like I thought the film was going to pick up because I said to you, I thought it was going to be one of these moments where I was going to feel tired.
Yeah.
Also, I want to say I was 5 hours in sleep.
Yeah.
But I woken up by this point.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was like 2:20 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So I'm watching it, and the chairs are comfy, so that doesn't help.
Yeah.
That doesn't help
No.
in that cinema. And I'm like, but I had a similar thing with Silence, where I felt tired. I saw that New Year's Day 2017, so I stayed up a bit later, felt tired, and then for me, Silence got to a point where then I just started waking up, and I got really interested in it. Yeah. I thought to myself, maybe that's going to happen with Dune. Yeah. And there was a moment, I said to you, it was the first moment where Timothée Chalamet raised his voice, and then I was like, okay, I'm feeling myself wake up a little bit. Okay, are we getting there? And then we immediately go back to just nothing. There's loads of moments because again, big Timothée Chalamet fan. Always said that, but I'm a fan enough to know like why I like him.
Yeah.
And there's moments where I go like, fuck, he's good in that few seconds.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to, I'm just gonna whisper everything to you.
And like,
it's like I said this to, I forgot who I said this to, but I was saying this to someone that, you know, like in Tenet, where Robert Pattinson is explaining highly important plot information to us, but then the sound design is, as like he's going like, So then we need to do that, and then it's like I can't hear what you're. I don't understand the story because I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
There's moments like that in this film, but reverse, where Timothy Chalamet and everyone else is trying to like tell us very important information to help us understand anything, but they're talking really quietly.
Yeah.
Really. It's like, speak up! You're telling me.
Yeah.
You're telling me I'm trying to get. You want me to understand and to be enthralled in this world that you're building me. I don't understand the world, and the explanation you're giving to me is whispered. How am I meant to understand?
I genuinely think the best way that this story can be delivered is as Game of Thrones style budget series.
Apparently, there was a mini-series.
There was a miniseries, but apparently it
wasn't good. Yeah,
because there's no money was put into
no,
it.
yeah, no.
That's what
I agree.
mean.
I
Like,
agree.
A Game of Thrones level budget of a series for this would probably be entertaining, as opposed to a 2.5 hour fucking slogfest that like feels like you've been thrown into the third episode of a first series of a TV show. Anyway.
I mentioned that to you. I was like, I feel like it's because I feel like I just started watching. I said a lot of things that this film felt like.
Yeah.
One of the things was like I felt like I thought I was watching the first part of an anime because it was like season 1 of an anime, and I was like, wait, I'm confused. No. You watched MD2. You're meant to watch GH7.
Yeah.
Wait, is that first? No, GH7 is before MD2. So what's first? Well,
Yeah.
0PX is first. But 0PX takes place chronology after 52P. I'm like, what? Can I just
What's
watch?
happening?
Yeah, like, and there's animes like that. So I feel like I just went into Dune. I want to add Dune Part 1. 1 is the first, if I'm not mistaken.
Which, can I just say, Warner Brothers, do your marketing. If your movie's going to be called Dune Part 1 when you see it, call it Dune Part 1 on the trailers and the posters, because it's fucking misleading.
It's
not cool.
So if I'm seeing that and then I'm watching this film again, how films are meant to be.
Yeah.
Even if you watch a film that's an adaptation, I feel like even if you haven't read the book or watched anything, you just have an appreciation for the film itself. You can have a further appreciation for something if you've already read the source material or watched it, but it shouldn't be integral.
Yeah.
I'm hearing so many people say, I didn't read the book and I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And then I'm hearing people go like, I read the book and I understood it. It's like, why did I need to do homework?
Yeah, I shouldn't need to read the book.
I don't need to read The Long Halloween to understand The Dark Knight.
Yeah, no.
I don't need to have I probably don't need to play Uncharted to understand the film.
No. Little hope not Christ.
We talk about Psycho. We didn't need to read the book to understand anything from there.
No, exactly.
Why do I need to know the information already before seeing the film?
The main argument...
It's so backwards.
The main argument that's annoying me with this movie is people saying, yeah, but I know it feels like not a lot happened, but...
They're making excuses.
You've got to remember that it is the first part of a larger story. That fucks me off because... And I've said this to you already, right? Lord of the Rings is one of my favourite film trilogies ever made. But I can just watch Fellowship if I want to, and I can have a good fucking time, and I can watch it, and the story wraps up. Yes, it's part of a larger whole, but that story has a beginning, has a middle, has an end, as just Fellowship.
Paul doesn't have an arc in this film.
No.
He learns to fight more.
He learns to become a leader. Just a lot of that. A lot of shouting.
I like the score. I like Hans Zimmer's score.
Yeah, I like the score. But I think it's like... The Lord of the Rings films, if you watch the extended versions, which I do, because it's like...
I don't, because I've had sex.
Yeah, good. Excellent.
That doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything, so have I. But they're like 45 minutes longer than this movie.
Yes.
And I don't get fucking bored. Because
again,
it's a good movie.
My problem isn't long films.
No, my problem is using the fucking time you've got.
I can watch The Irishman. I know you can't have the same
not
effect.
a fan,
but again, I don't get that with Lord of the Rings.
But
I can watch The Irishman, 3 hours and 20 minutes of it, and I'm fine with it.
Yeah, but my problem with The Irishman isn't even the pacing; it's the story.
I
just don't like the story. My issue with The Irishman is not how long it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like it's not a slow movie.
So that's what I mean. It's like if I have to have an issue with Dune, it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
That I've watched a 2.5 hour film. It's only 2.5 hours. It's not even like it's 2 hours 40.
No, exactly.
The Raid 2 is 2.5 hours.
Do you know what else is 2.5 hours? Avengers Infinity War.
It is, isn't it?
Fucking flies by. And it's in my top 10 of all time.
Infinity War.
Yeah, it's a banger. It's so good. But it's just, I don't understand how this movie can be so fucking slow and so loved. I don't get it.
We also said, because this is going to be in the next point of Dune, that in the Spirited Away video, we talked about our two preferences for world building.
Yes.
I like soft world building, which is Spirited Away, where we just get put in the world and we're left to kind of explore. Yeah. Nothing's explained to us. We just kind of see things. Yeah. Like, oh, that's intriguing. You prefer hard world building, where you almost get a textbook within the film.
Yeah.
Where it's like, here's the history.
Yeah.
And here it is.
I love law. Goddamn, I love law.
This film doesn't do any of it.
Nah.
It doesn't please any of us. Because as soon as I'm there watching it, and the first scene is I'm getting explained a thing, I'm like, fuck, this is not going to be for me. But this is not going to be for me at all.
Because things are introduced to you, but they're too complicated for you to do soft world building, because you can't just put it there and have someone try and wrap their head around it and explain it, because you've moved on to the next thing. And it's not hard world building because no one stops to fucking explain it.
Yeah.
That sisterhood thing. What is that? Are they like the Illuminati? I don't know. But they're like, we've laid out a path for him. All he has to do is follow it, sort of thing. And I guess he's going according to their plan, but we don't know because we never fucking see them again after the first 15 minutes.
And another thing, which is my leading on point of that, who is this made for?
Yeah, that was my question coming out of it. Who is this for?
Because, again, we have two very different opinions on what we like in blockbuster action. Yeah. We like Force Awakens.
I like Force Awakens.
We both have very different views on Last Jedi.
Yeah, not huge on it.
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah. We both hate Rise of Skywalker because we're not morons.
Yeah. We both have different opinions on certain Marvel films.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like there's... We're interested in the sense like we have certain similarities.
Yes, but a lot of differences.
But we have a lot of differences. Yeah. So naturally, this film
should appeal to at least one of us.
Either I should have been, God, I love that, and you've been, fuck that film. Or other way around. But we're both walking out of the cinema to the metro, going, what the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck was that about? Because, like, this is my thing with it. Because as film people, we didn't like it, and we're like massive on film generally.
And we're both two different types of massive film fans as well.
Yeah. General audiences are gonna fucking hate this.
Yeah, they are.
I would have thought they would.
Same.
Because it's slow and plodding and nothing happens.
I'm sure a good few people walked out.
Yeah.
I'm sure a good few people
being
walked
like,
out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't think I've seen a cinema to the point of where there's a good few people, especially in Tyneside, where that's almost a cinema's purest cinema. Yeah. Like, people went to see the remake of Suspiria and were like, fuck, that was class.
Yeah. But like,
when we're in, again, a purist cinema and people are watching Dune and going,
yeah, this is it for me. So, like,
not even half an hour in.
Exactly. Like, general audiences aren't going to like it. Film people, if we're going off just us two, aren't going to like it. But then, fucking all of Twitter seems to be fucking loving this movie, and I don't get it.
My only thought is, this is my only thought. Again, I haven't explored the fan base for this.
Yeah,
so I know there is a fan base. I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's fans of the Dune book.
I think it probably
is.
Yeah.
But also, from what I can understand, from what I've seen, because this film is a lot of, I've said this to you, it's a 2.5 hour perfume advert.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shots where Timothée Chalamet looks very good looking.
Yes.
And very handsome.
Yeah, it's very
smouldering.
Yeah.
Is the big fan base just a lot of really, like, just a lot of teenage girls who think they're being clever by liking this film?
I don't think so. Because I think a lot of it is...
Because one of my favourite comments was made in a Pretty Much It commentary where Miles went, how bad can a film really be if there's good-looking people in it? Because at least you're looking at something nice.
Yeah.
At least you look... and there's a lot of attractive people in this film. Yeah. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do you think people are getting tricked?
No.
People are getting tricked. It's like, oh, it's big and epic and sweeping. Oh, no. Oh, I fancy that person.
No, I think my theory anyway is that there's people who were... And I've seen this because Chris Stuckman gave it a good review.
He liked it.
And Jeremy Jahns gave it a good review. And I know this specifically with Jeremy Jahns, is that he he's never read the book, but he loves the original David Lynch movie. He was raised
really?
He was raised on the David Lynch movie, and he loves it. So I think my theory is
a bit of a nostalgia.
Is people of that generation being nostalgic for the original movie, which is shit.
But there's people who don't like. But Stuckman isn't a fan.
But what I'm saying is, I think there's people who have got nostalgia for that original movie who, but know that it's not very good, and then now seeing
they've seen a more cinematic, grander
version of a story that they already loved.
Mm.
And I think people are loving it from that.
But I also don't think that's the main crowd though, as well.
But this is a thing that I have. I think I'm pretty sure I saw a quote today from Denis Villeneuve saying that he wants to do 3 movies, which I thought the plan was 2, but I'm sure I read it today that he said 3.
I thought I heard a trilogy at first.
Yeah,
but then I'm also sure I heard 5. I don't know.
I would not be surprised if the second one fucking bombs.
No, honestly, yeah.
Because general audiences will have seen the first one, and it just seems to be the hardcore fans that are really loving it.
But do you know what, as well?
Yeah.
I do have a feeling I might like part 2 better. I don't think I'll like it anymore, but I think I will like it better.
Yeah, probably. Hopefully more things happen.
That's what I mean. Like, at the minute, what did happen?
Nothing.
They went you went to the toilet for 10 minutes. You came back. Here's me thinking I'm going to have to explain you loads of things that have happened. You didn't.
All that happened was Paul and his mum got changed.
You asked me. He's like, so what did happen? Like, after we left, I went, they changed clothes and they did a sand walk.
Yeah.
And Timothée Chalamet once again had visions of Zendaya.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. It's
the movie. If someone asked me, give me a general overview of what happened in that movie, I would say House Atreides got put in charge of Arrakis, and then the people that were in charge of Arrakis before came, attacked, killed everyone, and then Paul and his mum, who were the only survivors, wandered through the desert for a bit and found Zendaya and her tribe, and now they're with them. And yet, 2.5 hours.
Yeah. I've said this, the story they did tell, they could have told in an hour.
Yeah.
But they decided just to stretch the fucking thing out.
But then, spend more time doing the fucking lore building then.
Yeah.
If you're going to have most of this movie just be fucking Timothée Chalamet and Rebecca Ferguson wandering through a desert.
Good actors. Had nothing to do.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do in this.
Take some of that time away and fucking give it to, giving me some more of the lore and maybe I'll be interested.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Fucking hell.
You've lost me right off the bat, but you can at least save you.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
That's what I mean. The third act of this movie should have been when they go through the desert and then find Zendaya's tribe. Yeah. The end of the second act should have been House Atreides being attacked by the Harkonnens.
Mm.
And then the third act, the last 20 minutes, is them going through the desert and then finding Zendaya and everyone. That shouldn't be your fucking midpoint.
No.
And then the second half of the movie is them wandering through the desert. Yeah. That's fucking boring.
And that's another thing. Because, again, they've lost me in the sense of, the world's not interesting enough for me to be curious about what's happening.
Yeah.
Again, there's a few things where it's, some costume stuff. Dave Bautista looks cool.
Yeah, but he's in,
but, I don't... Scene. That's what I mean. I'm like, okay, I'm interested in, what the fuck is he?
Yeah.
But he's not in it long enough for me to be like, oh,
and I've seen...
what's the... There's giant worms, Robbie. I'm not, that's... Do you know what that's the equivalent of? That's the equivalent of the only creature spirited away was the stink spirit.
Yeah.
That's all that would be. It's if the only, oh, do you want to see this magical fantasy world? Mm-hmm. There's grass and a stink spirit. Right?
Okay.
That's what this is there's sand and a giant worm. And also,
there's times where Paul and his mum and stuff are referred to as humans.
Are they?
That's what I mean. Are they humans? Because they can fucking control people with their minds.
They kind of know sign language, but not sign language.
Yeah. So are they humans? Is this set in the far future? Is this not a fantasy world?
Is this maybe a mother and son bond in the sense they're humans, but they can do this?
A Godot? I don't know.
I don't know.
Movie sucks. Anyway, I feel like that's enough on Dune.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I'm going to say...
It blows.
My final point I'm going to say to you, which was my very first thought while watching the film, and the thing that I did say to you, is with Dune, again, I have many analogies with it.
Yeah.
I feel like I signed on to a Japanese language course, but then I got put on a degree course instead of doing entry-level beginners stuff.
Mm-hmm.
if that made sense to you, then it does.
Yep.
I had Adam go, what does that mean? I went, it means what it says,
Yeah.
Adam.
Yeah.
It went, so is there like another language or something? It went, no, that's not
No.
the point. I'm not saying it's.
You're fucking dummy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read the book.
I don't.
I've
give a
decided
shit.
I'm gonna read the book.
You don't know spite.
I'm doing it. I'm gonna read it.
This is gonna be your new tenant.
I'm gonna fucking buy it on the way home.
This is your new tenant,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
What time is it? Yeah, Middleton Grange will be open when I go home. I'm gonna go into WH Smith's and fucking buy the book.
Go for it.
I'm doing it, and I'm gonna send you a photo, and you can put it in the video.
I probably won't, but
It's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
but after that,
Yep.
we hopped on the metro. We went on the midi metro system. That's the way we go.
Yeah. Fantastic.
We spent 10 minutes on the metro
Yeah.
to Anarchy Brew.
Anarchy Brew.
Walkergate.
Mm-hmm.
North Wrestling had their second show back since the pandemic.
Yeah.
The second show in the Anarchy Brew. It was the very first wrestling show you have attended
Ever.
fully. It wasn't
Yeah.
just meant to be a father and son bonding moment.
No.
It was meant to,
Buddy Leo was meant to be there.
he was
but
meant to be there. Who is a wrestling
He
fan?
started shitting his brains out or whatever the fuck he was doing that day. Fucking
Bless
Leo.
him. Bless him.
Yeah.
So then it just became me and you.
Yep.
That went. What's your perspective on right? So
Well,
you.
we got off the metro, and then you took me down some fucking shady ass road that just like it was gated off.
Well, I also went to follow them because they look like people that are going to the same event.
Yeah, so I was just following people with big fucking like long hair and leather jackets on or whatever into this seedy ass street, like with fucking graffiti on the walls. It was all gated off and stuff. Then we got inside.
Like a big ass heavy gate. Yeah.
Yeah, and we got inside. Nobody checked the tickets.
Which I'm surprised at.
No one checked the ticket. No one checked if we had COVID test or
No.
anything. Nothing. Just fucking walk in. And we went inside.
Walking to this fucking brewery.
We went into this brewery, which I then thought, I asked you, is this where the thing is? And you was like, yeah. And I was like, what? It was like a fucking 15 foot by 15 foot room
Yeah.
with just a big wrestling ring in the middle of it. And I thought
It was a bar.
and then just a bar literally next to the ring. It was literally as if, like, the food stuff for when you're at a football game was just where the sub bench is, and you were just stood there watching it.
Yeah.
Like, it was ridiculously close. And I thought it was like a setup thing that they'd set up to be like a welcome to the event sort of thing, and then you got your drink, then you went through the doors into the actual place where it was. Nah, not at all.
This is where the thing's happening.
Yeah.
That's where they're coming out of.
And we got, you got a drink. I didn't get a drink till later on.
I went,
But-
yeah. Oh, yeah, by the way, just for reference, Robbie, this Jack and Coke, this single Jack and Coke, it's £5. You
Yeah.
went, ooh.
Ooh, no, thank you. I got a thingy later on though. What was it? It's an IPA. It was really nice.
Right. They had their own, I discovered they had their own personally made.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's a brewery.
No, the
What's this?
wrestling,
Oh.
a pale driver.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool. But yeah, I like because that was like $3.50 or something.
Right, okay, so
Oh,
they're
so-
charging more for the
Yeah,
spirits
they're
that they don't own.
charging more for the spirits that they don't own as
Yeah.
opposed to their own beer, which
Fair.
is
Fair.
good business really. I can't
Yeah.
argue with that.
I might just get the beer next
Yeah,
time.
it was really nice, but I like ales anyway, so because I'm edgy and cool. And then we went outside to get some pizza.
Because they had a pizza place, which they're based in Durham. So they came
Really?
from... Yeah.
Well, right. Shout out to that pizza place, whatever it is.
So we find the...
Find out what it's called, because holy shit. First of all, unbelievable pizzas.
Maybe my favourite
But-
pizza. I'm saying it
yeah.
now. Maybe my favourite pizza I've had.
But on top of that, service.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So it must be like, I think it's a father and son.
It looks like
I
it.
think
yeah,
it is. And the dad was preparing stuff, and then the son would put it in the oven and serve it up and take the odds and everything. Have you found it?
2 J's. So it
Two
does look-
J's, yeah. Oh my god. So
You know, I'm giving them a follow, actually.
literally
Maybe.
every single time that the son pulled a pizza out of the oven,
Because it
and
was
put-
freshly made.
yeah,
Yeah.
and put it into a box, the dad was looking over his shoulder going, oh, God, Jesus, that looks amazing. He was going like that. Oh, that brings a tear to my eye and all this kind of stuff. And being like, fuck, I wish that was my tea and all this sort of thing. I was like, fucking, that is so much fun. Just
Yeah.
like having a guy, literally just the guy that's making the
Go
pizza.
like, that's fucking class.
hyping it up as he's giving it to you. You're like, fuck, this is going to be great.
But even before we walk over, we look at the menus, then the younger bloke goes, we have like a triple pepperoni pizza for a special.
Yeah, and we was like,
And then we got like, we'll get 2 of them.
yeah, which he tricked us with.
Yes,
because
because-
he didn't mention that it was the most expensive fucking
No,
pizza
he
they were
didn't.
doing.
No, he didn't.
And that it was a tenner each.
Yes, it was.
But worth it because
It was fucking
it was
brilliant.
nice.
Oh,
Holy
it was
shit.
nice. Yeah, they had some radio playing,
Yeah.
quality music.
Yeah.
Slightly funny in the sense of like we're waiting for our pizzas. Good little while because again they're freshly made
Yeah,
pizzas.
yeah.
So then like they're telling these other blokes like, oh yeah, there's a triple pepperoni pizza as they're 7 hours up, and they go, that's it by the way.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
the guy goes, oh, is that it? And
Yeah,
I'm
there
seeing
you
his face thinking that's they
Yeah,
just
that's
made it
ours.
for him. And then I was looking at them and they went, and then the older bloke went, yeah, it's not for you, it's for them by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
I was gonna have to fight you for that
Yeah.
there, mate.
But everyone was so lovely
Yeah.
at the event. Like,
Yeah.
just generally, everyone was so nice. There was a couple of guys that kept chanting at the end where I was like, shut up, man.
They were fine to begin with.
They were funny at first.
and then
near the end, it just kept going, and you were
Alright,
like, shut up, man, come on.
all right.
But fucking hell, it was funny.
But yeah, your
Oh
experience
my
of just
God.
watching a wrestling show for the first time
It
live.
was when, so, the first, like, match, I was like,
Yeah,
what have I got myself in for? What's going on? Then the second thing started happening, and the guy
Was that the drag?
Yeah.
The lip sync.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Visage,
the guy came out and was like, "We're gonna do something now that went down really well last time."
This is
I
Tom Campbell, the announcer. Yeah,
And I looked over at you and you were like, "Ah," and I was like, "What's this, Oscar? What's happening?" And he was like, "It's time for Visage or whatever," and she was like, "It's time for a Northern Wrestling lip sync battle." And I looked at you and was like, "What the fuck is going on?" You was like, "I'm really sorry," and it's like. Visage came out and she was like, we're doing pop punk versus grime or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then she introduced these two guys that came out loving it. One of them did a flip and then another
both
one
of them did it. Yeah,
and then another one went up on one and did like a fucking sign of the cross and was like, I guess. I did a flip and he did it and it was great. And then she introduced Darius, who is
Man like Darius,
my favourite one. He came out and he was actually rapping.
Yeah.
So he's just running through the crowd, actually rapping at people. And then he got on the stage and Visage was like, this is a lip sync battle. You don't actually have to rap or whatever. I was like, that's really funny. And then he was like, gonna do this lip sync battle. And then these two fucking dudes. One of them is just this massive bald dude in a leotard.
Conor Renshaw.
Yeah, and then the other guy is in like chinos and a blue shirt tucked in and a tie with fucking suspenders and
Zeo Knox.
and a big fucking mustache. And I was like, what the fuck's happening, Oscar?
And I went, oh yeah, by the way, his gimmick is he's a
Yeah,
Tory.
you just went, their gimmicks is that they're Tories, don't even worry about it. And I was like, what? What are you talking about?
To which then you realise, I think that's when it clicked to you. It's like, oh, this is why people go to wrestling.
Yeah, I just was
it's
like-
just people going like, you Tory bastard, it's just a load of.
shouting like fuck the Tories over and over again, and it's just me looking at you like, what the fuck is happening?
You were just
And
like,
then it was-
you're like, they're just hurling abuse at
And,
me.
and then it was a 3-way tag team match. It was incredible.
It was a good time.
That match was the best.
Our position, we didn't see jack shit of the mat. So then, to you're seeing people dive and then just hearing a. You don't see what happens.
They literally just dive and then just into an abyss, and we don't see what happens to them afterwards. It was so funny. Honestly, that second match with the lip sync battle into the tag team match, the best. Fucking brilliant. Like, genuinely.
That's the shit you go right. Like, I like matches.
Yeah,
I like them. They had. I wish I would have been more visible with the 4-way.
Yeah.
Because I wish it went a bit longer, that one. But
Yeah.
because I like all the guys in that.
It was so entertaining.
Yeah.
As much as I'm not like a big wrestling guy.
Yeah. This isn't gonna make
Like-
you go like, I need to watch weekly now.
No,
Like, this isn't doing
but
that
like,
for you.
oh my, it was genuinely
For like a night out.
so entertaining.
Yeah.
So fucking funny. Like, just brilliant.
The show started with the behind the scenes tech guy coming out.
Yeah, and then just getting shot. So canonically, the guy that does the tech is dead. And they were like, because even the announcer, what was he called?
Tom Campbell.
Tom Campbell.
And then the owner, Andrew Bowers, came out.
Yeah.
And then also the referee, Jumping John T. Myers.
Amazing. I love John. But Tom Campbell was like, yep, that's canon. He's dead. Or whatever. It was like, what the fuck?
Because it was such a prolonged in. I wonder what they think about people who's. Because obviously, there's a lot of people who turn up to North for the first time.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're at least wrestling fans. You.
I'm just a guy. I've just wandered in. Because my mate bought me a ticket.
Yeah.
I've just wandered in.
And then you just see like an intro.
Yeah.
Thunderstruck plays.
So good.
And I was like, they play Thunderstruck. That gets the crowd hyped.
Yeah, and I was
And then
like,
come
that's
out,
nice.
and way, and then like a bit of like a banter happens, and it's like, we're sponsored by I forgot what it was at that point.
The fucking bagels.
Yeah, baby bagels or whatever like that. And they prolonged that a bit. And they go,
Cry baby bagels.
Cry baby bagels. I was like, and now let's bring out, and then just like Rick Astley plays,
Yeah.
and
And then he gets shot.
and I'm like, I don't even understand what just happened there. And then to which then Tom Campbell goes like, let's get started on with the wrestling.
Yeah. Because everyone kept singing Rick Astley.
Never gonna give you.
Everyone just kept going with it, and they were like, shut the fuck up, we're trying to get on the show. Everyone shut up. Honestly, just one of the most entertaining nights ever.
I love doing that, like people who don't know wrestling to be like, watch this.
It was so funny.
Because it's never, no one's ever bored with, no one's ever bored with wrestling, because it's like, they may not like it, and they have this perception like it's fake, which, no one who attends a wrestling show, we're all in on it.
No, exactly, yeah, everyone's in on it. And
so it's like, just watch this, and it's like, what the fuck? And do you want to see like 3 hours of that?
Yeah, exactly. We've got to take Reese.
That's what I mean. He would have been.
He would have fucking loved it. Honestly, it was so much fun. Genuinely.
That's what I mean. It's like, again, he knows less than you.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I mean. He would be like, what?
He would have been like, what? Excuse me?
Man, like
then the Tory comes out as well, and it's just like,
oh my god, yeah, everyone's going, fuck the Tories, and Reese is like,
then he would.
And he's like, I need to get out of here.
It was good shit. It was a good fun time.
It was a really fucking fun time. Oh god.
And with that,
is it Letterboxd?
Yes, the intermission sections again.
Oh my god.
How long have we been recording for?
2 hours 45.
There's a bit that we're cutting out the
the trailer.
Cowboy. That's not going to reduce that much.
So it's going to be a 3 hour.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But it's Halloween season.
Ooh.
It's fine.
Oogity spoogity. Do your best impression of a Halloween-based thing. I'll do a Dracula after you.
A Halloween-based thing.
Yeah.
I shot him 5 times. 5 times. You don't know what death is.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's pretty good. I was gonna go.
Michael.
Michael. I was gonna go there. It's me, Count Dracula.
1. 2. I do not go blah blah blah.
Blah.
Underrated films.
Yeah.
Hotel Transylvania.
Yeah, I love them.
Third's okay.
Yeah.
That's when they go on the cruise.
I haven't seen that one. Is that the one?
That's the summer one.
Is that the one that just came out?
A few years ago.
Because there was Hotel Transylvania 4.
There's a 4th one.
Yeah, where they do a body switcheroo, where all the monsters turn back into humans and all the humans turn into monsters, and Andy Samberg is a dragon or whatever.
Do you know what? I forgot to watch The Guest at the minute.
I need to watch that at some point.
You're away at Halloween as well. You're away over the weekend. I can't even come right. That's
sorry, man.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Only found out earlier today you won't even be coming out tomorrow.
No.
I thought you were going to be out and then going away
Yeah,
on
I
Saturday.
thought I was as well. But
oh, really? And then you got dragged, did you?
Yeah. I've had to go home earlier than I thought. It's upsetting.
Oh, well.
These things happen.
We'll,
probably, you know what, I'm going to go see... I'm still going to see Last Night in Soho tomorrow. I've decided.
Isn't your train time before then?
Yeah, but when I go home...
Oh, right. I was going to say...
I'll go see it in Hull. I'll message my sister and be like, do you want to go see Last Night in Soho tomorrow?
I'm aiming for that on Sunday. On Halloween, I'll aim for that. Maybe.
Okay, yeah.
The way things are looking, I might have to be working the weekend, but I might give myself the evening.
Yeah.
I need to give some Halloween day off.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, no, my plan was going to be, I was going to give myself Saturday off.
Oh, right, okay.
Because if I am out on Friday,
and
if I'm back as late as I was, I'm not going to want to work that day, am I?
Good point, yeah. True.
So I'll work on Halloween.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah. But speaking of Halloween,
let's
return to Psycho.
Oh, yeah.
The thing that we talked about
that movie we talked
days
about.
ago.
Yeah. That movie? Oh my god.
We had a whole rant about Dune after then.
Sucks.
We talked about Cowboy Bebop a bit.
Yeah, looks good.
The intermission sections are going to be coming like part 2 of the episode.
It really is.
They're not intermissions anymore.
No, they're not.
Now it's the bullshit section.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you're new to the podcast, God help you, this being your first time.
Yeah, oh my god, I'm so sorry.
And also, this is usually the section when we go on Letterboxd, the film social media website, on the film that we just talked about.
Yeah.
not just.
Buckle in,
The
baby.
film
It's
that-
time for some reviews.
There we go. And we go
Yeah.
to the negative reviews of the film because it's always fun. Last week saved it. We didn't get a Hall of Fame. We didn't get a Hall of Fame, but we got a chuckle.
We did get a good one.
I think this might be a good one.
Yeah, same.
Maybe with the odd okay.
Yeah.
Because I have a
There'll
feeling
be a couple of boring.
I was thinking more so like a bad representation of.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Because wasn't West Side Stories like they're brown faced people? It's like, this isn't gonna be fun.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, let's get to it. Norma. How I said, I looked at that, I went, a synthwave Hamlet. I don't know Hamlet well enough to suggest that, but
Do I compare thee to A Summer's Day? That's
Not
not
quite,
is it?
no.
That's a different shape.
alas, poor Yorick.
Something like that.
I knew him.
Yeah. It's me, David Tennant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mentioned it to Joe about like maybe planning a. That's how I can mention it to him because he's into this whole theatre thing. A synthwave Hamlet.
That'd be cool. A Blade Runner Hamlet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, negative Letterboxd reviews. Half a star. Norman has a lot of free time on his hands. Couldn't he have invested in a better wig? Half a star because I like the bird symbolism in this film. So no,
I think you're getting confused with the birds.
no, the
Okay, the owls and stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
half a star. What is this?
I'm puppeteering it. I'm a puppet master.
Okay, right.
It's me.
Half a star. A movie about Kevin Feige because he chose to introduce Kingo 26 movies in.
What?
Who's Kingo?
Kingo is Kumail Nanjiani's character in the film Eternals, which is not out yet.
Is he Norman Batesy?
No. He's like a Bollywood movie star. In the movie, anyways. He's used his time as as an immortal being on Earth to become a Bollywood movie star.
Does he have mother issues?
Don't think so.
So that was okay.
That was a pointless comment.
Half a star. Legit sucks balls. LMAO.
Who's
almost
legit?
Dun 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 do 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 do. We just mash all the fucking things.
Just lob everything in there.
And The Exorcist.
3 more days to Halloween.
Halloween, Halloween. 3 more days to Halloween. Silver Shamrocks.
Love that movie. I loved it. There, I said it. Continue.
Half a star. Stop watching on my mobile telephone after 15 minutes had passed and there were no explosions.
Is that my fucking dad? Watching on a phone. And there was no explosions in 15 minutes. I turned it off. That's a good one. That's a Hall of Famer.
You know, like that one fucking image of someone just on the train with like Dunkirk on there. Or like when The Irishman came out, then people were just like on buses watching it, like, the way Scorsese intended for
That's
the film.
fucking
So just the
genius.
imagination of someone watching Psycho, like with this face on, just like.
I saw one of those where it was for Dune, where it was someone watching it on an iPod Nano. And it was like the way Denis Villeneuve intended. Oh, that's funny.
Okay, that's become a bit of a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's a Hall of Famer. I like that one.
Let me like that one.
Yeah.
Half a star. Boring albeit and boring albeit ABLEIST.
Ableist.
Ableist. Boring, ableist, and transphobic. There was the one.
There it is.
There's 5 comments. Let me just see. Are they anything?
Dunno. Probably not anything funny.
No, it's more so just a bit of a conversation about what we've already had about.
Yeah.
Half a star. He killed people.
He did. You're right. Spot on there, actually.
He killed exactly
3 people. 4 people.
He killed his mum, his lover.
Yeah.
Don't they lead to 2 other people?
Yeah. 4 and then 6.
Yeah.
Pretty on Norman.
Not a massive kill count, but
Yeah.
you know.
Not if you look at the show. I imagine he kills more people in Bates Motel, everyone's favourite show.
I don't even
He probably does.
need to
I
give that
watched
a go.
like the first couple of episodes of that because my ex-girlfriend made me, and it sucked.
There's a reason why she's your ex.
Yeah.
Half a star. I get why it would have been popular when it came out, as it broke a lot of taboos, like the strange one about toilet flushing, but it's very slow and dated.
You're slow and dated. Whoever that
Alright.
was.
I think I've seen this name before in these Letterboxd
Wait a
reviews.
second.
I think I've seen...
Hang on a second.
Oh, Chloe. I'm sure I've mentioned a Chloe before.
Yeah.
Who was that one that was recurring at first? We never saw him again.
Oh, yeah.
Blue God or something.
Yeah, something like that. He was good. I liked him.
He gave some funny ones.
He was funny back in the day. Yeah.
Back in the day when it was the first lockdown.
Yeah, way
before
back
we had video.
Oh my god. Way back when everything was on VHS tapes.
Back in the day when we only talked about Coppola and Pacino.
Oh my god. Those were the times.
Yeah. Half a star. He is psycho. He is fucking crazy. Psycho without a H, by the way. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
Okay. Half a star. A snoring emoji. And perturbates transphobia. Another 2 comments. Yep. Half a star. Wish I could give this movie 0 stars for trauma.
Oh.
And then half a star. No.
I love those ones.
Just no.
Just love the ones I just no.
But basically, so
The
stop
best one.
stop watching on my mobile telephone after 15 minutes had passed and there were no explosions.
Yeah, that's
Big
fantastic.
on you, Earl Squirrelson.
Well done, Earl. Your name is Earl.
Yes.
Yeah, bang on.
And Earl's favourite films. Okay, decent ones there.
Okay.
He's got Ratatouille.
Oh yeah.
Got Atonement, which I haven't seen.
I haven't seen Atonement.
Yeah, it's good. The Prestige.
Oh yeah. I like The Prestige. I think it's an underrated Nolan.
It's my second favourite Nolan film.
Really?
Yeah.
I think so.
Below Inception.
It's an underrated one.
Yeah, definitely.
It is. Yeah.
Get its appreciation now. I'm hearing more people talk about. I think people are getting sick of what Nolan's doing now, and they go like, "What else do you do?" And goes, "Fuck, this is actually really."
I like the implication that Hugh Jackman's just killing himself over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
That's good.
And also Kingdom of Heaven,
Okay. Yeah.
which I haven't seen.
Do you know what I do like in The Prestige? I like that someone is showing up in the background of shots constantly.
Yeah.
Who is clearly Christian Bale in a costume, and you go, "Is that Christian Bale?"
Yeah, man.
He's in like a Scooby-Doo mask. It's very funny. I find it very funny, but it's not meant to be funny. I always look at it and I'm like, it just looks like, what was he doing there? Come on, now.
So,
Yeah. Hold on. Laptop's going down. Is it outro o'clock?
it is outro
Oh my
o'clock.
god, look at the time.
That was
Yeah.
the Halloween special
Oh baby, it
of
was.
the Intermission podcast.
Yeah.
This felt like a really long one.
It did feel like a long one. Like 2 hours 55 currently.
Okay, not the longest,
Not the longest one we've ever done.
but it's a Halloween special.
Yeah,
It's- so it's
for
special.
a reason.
Yeah, very first Halloween special.
Yeah.
See what next year brings us.
Yeah.
This is going to be the last podcast episode that we're going to do for a good little while.
Yeah.
Season 3 is over with. The Halloween special is now over with.
Yep.
Reason is because that was just going to be the plan anyway, because we were going to go back to uni.
Mm-hmm.
Our timing just fucked it up in the sense like the season continued while we were in uni.
Which it shouldn't have done.
It
but we
shouldn't have
just did
done, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was meant to just be summer and then
Yeah.
whatever.
Multiple occurrences with my microphone. We won't get into it.
But we already explained
We
it.
already did.
But so yeah, so that is it. It's
Mhm.
actually decent timing now because now it is getting.
Yeah,
It's
now
ramping
getting
up
heavy.
now.
It's getting heavy.
We might do some commentaries, maybe. That's
Maybe.
if we literally
Yeah,
have like
If we have
we
a
got
moment.
nothing on.
Yeah.
That's when we feel comfortable. Like we've caught up with work.
Yeah.
We don't have any filming on.
Yeah.
How about we do something?
Yeah.
That's when that will happen. We're not
Yeah,
going to
exactly.
plan those.
Yeah, definitely.
But what we will plan
Mm.
will be the next episode,
Yes.
which will be on. Let me see if I can find the exact date. The episode will get released on December 18th.
Woohoo!
Not the 25th.
Oh, yeah.
That will be on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
But it will be the week before. Will be
Mhm.
this year's Christmas special.
Woo.
We can shoot that like what we did last year, like the week before the week off when we break
Stick my
up.
Ninja Turtles Christmas jumper on.
Bringing
The
that back.
The trusty Ninja Turtles Christmas jumper.
Exactly.
It's way
exactly.
too small for me at this point, but I continue to wear it.
You know.
Okay.
But that one We're sticking within the 1940s for Christmas films. We're going back. No, we're going up. We're going 1 year later from It's a Wonderful Life, 1947. We are going to be talking about the original Miracle on 34th Street. Have you seen it?
No, I've seen the one with the Matilda girl. And is it Richard Attenborough?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mum loves it. So
I haven't
it's
seen
my
that
mum's
one.
favourite Christmas movie.
I haven't seen that one. Lewis does my fucking head in with it because he knows that I love the original.
Yeah.
And I'm not. I don't. Maybe I will give the remake a go just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
But Lewis always goes. He knows that I love the original. He goes, no, but the remake's better though. I go, you shut the fuck up right now. You do not. You do not say a bad word about Edwin G. Gwynn. But I think it was Edward G. Gwynn who played Chris Kringle.
Maybe.
Lovely film.
Yeah.
But you'll find out.
Yeah, boy.
And you'll find out on December 18th.
Yeah,
baby. Where we come back for episode 20. That'll be episode 27 again. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens. But it's ramping up.
Yeah.
It's ramping up. We are still keeping ourselves very, very busy.
Yes.
And again, you can follow us on Instagram if you want to see
what we're getting up
the
to.
busyness.
Yeah.
If you want to see a window, if you want to see a peak of the busyness, because goodness sake, you're not seeing all the busyness.
Yeah, my Christ. Yep. Good. Yeah.
I need to do the. By the time this is out, I would have done it, but I need to do the spreadsheet thing.
Oh, fucking shit and tits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to do that when I get home.
I need to do that after tonight. I'm going to be seeing The French Dispatch tonight.
Oh, you are, and I'm very jealous. Let me know how it is.
Lewis is picking me up in half an hour.
Oh,
so we're going to be going there. Going to go and... Is that him there? It might not be right away, 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay.
Fucking hell, Lewis.
Literally, we are still waiting on Victoria's car to come back, so we might have to get you to a bit early if they... Might be earlier.
Ooh.
If he goes, I'm outside now, Oscar. And I'm going to have to just immediately see it. But yeah, French Dispatch, it's my most anticipated film for the year.
Let me know what you think.
It was
of
the Timothy Chalamet film I was looking forward to.
Yeah. Cool. Very good.
And yeah, big Wes Anderson fan.
Exciting.
So if you're curious about what I thought about that, that's where you can also go over to my Letterboxd and see that. Because I'll put a little thing. Yeah. I've seen every Wes Anderson film as well. So
very good. Don't like Rushmore. There, I said it.
Rushmore's
I don't like it.
No. But yeah.
For now, lads, unbuckle, baby. There you go. And I'll tell you to buckle up again when we come back at Christmas. Baby.
We're back there.
Yeah.
So, guys, thank you all for watching and listening. Everything we've said, do that.
Yeah.
Until next time, have a very happy Halloween.
Yes.
Have a good old spooky time. Stay safe with trick-or-treating. Stay safe if you're going out.
Yeah, fucking Christ.
Jesus, stay safe.
Don't tell anyone to fuck off. You might get punched.
And also, lads, let's not be dicks. Come on.
Yeah, don't be an
Come
arsehole.
on.
Come on.
If you see a lass,
think about what
just
you do.
generally.
Yeah.
This doesn't even mind Halloween.
I'm looking directly into the lens now.
Yeah, just
don't be a cock.
Just leave them.
Prick.
We good. Sorted. Yeah. I'll see you there.
Yeah, see you in a bit, lads. See you at Christmas.
Bye-bye. Halloween in.
See ya. Bye.